Morning traders, morning. What a move this morning and overnight. Those in Discord, you were prepared for it. All right, we were prepared for this. We've been prepared for it all week. Whether you were awake or not is a whole different ballgame. For me, unfortunately, being on the West Coast, I missed the move. Did I make some money last night? Yes, I'm up about $1,000. But this is the move I'd been waiting for all week long, planned out since last Sunday. They had to play game after game after game until we finally got the catalyst. We kept saying the market needs a catalyst to move it outside of the range. We got it this morning. The catalyst, if you didn't know, is Trump threatening 25% tariffs on iPhones because Tim Cook has said he's going to move production to India, not back to America. So there you go. There's the big move. And the big level was 180. We went over it. Let's start in the daily. All right, let's just talk about the daily and talk about why we're doing this move and where we're going. Okay, you can see here, these are the levels we've had in all week. There's your high, there's your low. All right, once we broke out of this weekly level yesterday, they had to play game after game after game after game. Did I make some money yesterday? Yes, I did. But was it fun? No, it wasn't. While we're asleep, or at least I'm asleep, they finally do the move. All right, so we're breaking out of this channel. We talked about buyers being trapped at 400 and above. So all the buyers up here, they remain supply. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days, I'd say, of buyers trapped up there. We tested it yesterday, failed in front of 400, got the rollover, 5-day moving average. You can see this blue line starting to act as resistance. We kept talking about that. If we fail 5-day and it's resistance, where do we go? We go mean reversion, 20-day and 200-day check. Okay, so that's where the market wants to go. Does it have to do it in one go? It's important to remember it does not have to do this move in one go. We're already about 2% down, which is your average ATR on a sell day. There's lots of reasons to come down here though. 20-day, 200-day, gap fill, RBS. All right, this is where the market wants to come to. When we were here on, what was Sunday? This day, last week, I said we need the market to pull back to here. And we also need to remember that all of this is based off a tariff pause. Okay, not a tariff cancel, a tariff pause, which means we're open to the Fed or to really just Trump making decisions like he did last night, spooking the market. All right, so you have to be aware this is a giant squeeze. This point is a bid. This point here is a squeeze. All right, this is a bid of proper levels. This is a squeeze. This is exhaustion. This is retail trapped. More retail bought Monday morning here than ever before in the history of the stock market. Bear that in mind. Trapped retail. Guess who gets liquidated? Retail. Guess who buys back when we come to good levels? Smart money. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and that's what we've been looking for all week. There's good reasons for it. You can see everything's starting to roll over. The biggest problem we've got right now on the daily, we've filled this imbalance. We've swept this liquidity. We're into the next imbalance. Unfortunately, trade location was where? Trade location was up here. That was trade location. So now really we're going to have to wait for some form of pullback to get short into if we're looking for a pro trend. Okay, and then we're going to go over that in the hourly now so that we can see it all. So just focus on this chart. Let's make sure you can see it okay. Probably messed these up a little bit the last few days, have I? Yes, by the looks of it, I have. All right, focus on this chart. Yesterday, value area low and VWAP from yesterday, 170, 180. All right, that's why when we were looking for that breakdown, we talked about the head and shoulders here last night in Discord, which was starting to form on the H1. Let's make sure you can see this. Let's go up. Right here. All right, we were talking about this earlier. This is the advantage of doing the course and being in Discord. This was the head and shoulders setting up with buyers trapped above. All right, H1 looking like classic head and shoulder. What was the key level that we were looking for? There was seller above 150. Where is it? Right here. 180 stays heavy. You're good for a trend move. Okay, you're good for a trend move. Why were we calling that? because here you can see the 180s, we are failing to bid above, failing to bid above, failing to bid above. We have buyers trapped here, more buyers trapped above here. So as long as this fails, this is a giant bear flag. All right, it was a pain to trade because the range is big. But this is your failure. There's your swing point. There's your bear flag. There's your strong low. There's the snap of it. All right. So the move's been and gone now, unfortunately. That's just how it is. It has been and it's gone. Sometimes you're here for it. Sometimes you're not. So now we're thinking about what can the market do. We have liquidity down here at sort of 690. This old swing low down here on the H1. I would like to see a drive back up to be sold into to retest the overnight low. And if we get a break, I'll be holding runners for a move down. All right. If we stay heavy this morning, we do one of these moves and retest it. Maybe there's a short there. It's not great location, but possibly there's a short there. If we do a sweep of the low and turn back inside, then you know that's the squeeze. That's where shorts get trapped. Shorts always get trapped taking these breaks at the lows without retests. Breaks at lows without retests. This is where they get trapped. So ideally we move higher, all right, for a pullback leg first, which can be sold into. Now, if you're wondering what these red lines are, they are the anchored VWAPs off the highs. We have some imbalances here you might want to feel. So there's your anchored VWAP off where we started breaking down, 80, let's call it 875, VWAP, classic week VWAP all the way basically up at 2100. We can think about liquidity looking left here, but really the drive would be all the way up to 21,000. Now, my big problem with if we do that drive is that means there's a big momentum shift. All right. And I do not feel comfortable just taking a short up here into it because that is a whole lot of momentum to get up to here. So we need to wait for backside of the move, because if they want to be really nasty, they can come up here with momentum, shorts pile in here, cause a squeeze, shorts pile in here, get trapped, and they do one of those. Do I think it's probable? No, I don't, but I want you to be aware of the kind of things the market will do to trap. We would like drives up to be sold into and make a nice, easy Friday. That would be perfect, but the problem is that we've had a huge move, all right, and we can come all the way back here, all right? Previous day low and VWAP are going to be key. Any reclaim of these, you want to be very careful that we're not coming all the way back for this high at 21,180. Very, very, very careful, all right? Because you're starting to see, right, push, pull, push. This is tapering. Break above here might cause a squeeze. That's what I want to see. Then I want to see if we get sellers come in. All right, if we start reclaiming here, you want to be careful. All right, you want to be careful. Let's have a quick look at the mag. We can see what got us here, see what confidence we have. Apple is going to be hammered. You can see I've already set price alerts for Apple. The reason being is right here, we've got like a big double bottom. All right, so I'm looking to see if they liquidate this double bottom and we get a breakout sale, because that will help the market roll over with it. Up here is the back test of previous day low. I've got to move that a little bit lower. Okay, so Apple in big old gap down. All right, you can see yesterday we said 202 to 200 is going to be key. Remember that pre-market yesterday. There's your basically in front of 200. There's basically 202, and there's the snap pre-market today. Microsoft gapping down. Everything gapping down with it right now. Everything doing the same move. Does it do a bear flag versus VWAP for continuation? These are the questions. Same move here on Amazon, gapping down. Big old gap, failing hard underneath previous day low. Goog gapping down as well into some key levels here though. So it's got a chance to be saved a little bit, Goog. Meta absolutely wrecked. Gapping down, giving it all back. You can see retail in big, big pain. Nvidia, nice little response there. All right, so you'd be watching Nvidia into VWAP and into the previous day lows and any of these pivots over here, I'd say 130.50. Tesla, same thing, gapping down. You'd be watching for a reaction into these. It's finding a bid here right now. All right, so it has possibility to come lower, but if they want to catch a bid here on Tesla, they absolutely can. It's because of the range it's set all week, and it's still really within its range. It has the ability to find a bid in here if it wants for a retest of this. If it plays this, then it goes higher again. All right, so it's interesting how the market's setting up here. One thing to note, we went over this yesterday. QQQ, just put this on a daily chart for a second. Let me take this off. How are we doing for time? I need to get through this. QQQ. Need to get this in extended. Sorry, folks. 1 second. Where has it gone? That's odd. Not showing me in extended hours and not giving me the option. Nice little glitch there. But QQQ coming into some key areas. 493 would be the target on the Qs. SPY into its first pivot already. All right, there's a reason we're finding a bid here. This is the first pivot. If it lets go, it's got gap fill potential down to 567 on the SPY. You're going to see the VIX with a huge move upside right now. All right, starting to break out of these levels. All right, we've got liquidity. It can start to aim for over here. So I'd say 25.70 break takes you to 28, and we can keep going at that point. This is a big push. This is the bottoming kind of pattern that we were talking about. Here's your sideways action. There's the breakout. There's the retest. There's your RBS. There's the squeeze. All right, classic kind of play. So you should be prepared. Get back into the main chart. Make this big for you. There we go. Let's get the flow zones back on. So looking for a drive out here this morning and to see if sellers are present. The reason I'm looking for sells, I'm not looking for sells down here. The reason I'm looking for sells is because we've had a liquidation break and the pro trend is now in a sell. So I'm going to wait and look for sells. Again, I'm up okay money. I paid myself a decent amount of money this week as well out of Apex. Let's have a look. Can't find the link for the package deal for 99. When you buy the flow zone course, it will offer it as soon as you buy it and get to checkout. It will offer it at a discount. Any problems though, Bobby, and I will sort you out, my friend. Let's get through some good mornings here. All right, good morning, Ramus, Miguel, Chris, Ken, John. John, thank you so much, my friend. Very, very kind of you. Jeff, Chris, welcome to the team. Spider, Toby, Christy, Aaron, Brandon, Clint, Thumper, Firewater, Mike, Raphael, Stephen C, Ash, Marek, thank you, my friend. Paying for my breakfast, you and John today, very kind. Vincent, Peter, Trenchy, Paul, Brad, Willa Williams, Jihad, hopefully I said that right. If I butchered it, I am sorry. Jihad US, maybe. Richard, Kat, Aintus, Array, Andrew, Juan Carlos, Eva, Gus, Jesse, Peter, Glenn, Ajecto, Vince, and DK. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Yeah, let's make sure we end today well. All right, let's end the week strong. Don't be giving back your money. Don't be chasing this market short if it's not ready to come back down. Okay, you've got to be patient with this morning. We've done a big move. Good morning, Pearly Barker. And let's just see what we get. How long we got here? 90 seconds or so. Make sure you're going through your checklist as well, folks. All right, make sure you're going through your checklist. Are you fit and able to trade? Are you on tilt? Did you get upset like me yesterday? Are you stressed out? Don't be doing anything you shouldn't be doing going into the weekend. We've got a long weekend ahead of us. You get an extra day to mull over any bad moves that you make today. All right, so nice and patient, please. Let's see if we can get this squeeze out this morning. Maybe come and test some key levels. Just going to quickly check my spiders. Have we gone back under the 200 day? We have. We've also done it on the ES. So the 200 day on the ES would be where VWAP is right now, 5,806. So watching that, I want to start to trade US 30. You think is a good idea? You're a breakout trader. Yeah. If you've back tested it and it fits your model, no reason not to trade it. All right, QQQ is into its gap, by the way, folks, as in the weekly gap. And VWAP on the Qs at basically 507s. We're trading into VWAP on the SPY right now. We'd love that morning shove up, big old squeeze out, and then to see if sellers come into the market. Here we go. Here's the opening print. Let's have a look. Mag all in blood territory. Remember, higher better here this morning. Higher the better. The bigger the squeeze, the more room we're going to have for a retest of the low. The minimum I'm looking for today is a retest of the low of any short. All right, so if we can get going upside here, it would be good. There's probably a long here. If you're playing the counter trend, there's probably been a long opportunity for this kind of double bottom flag. Right here, there's probably that kind of long there if you want it. Not something I'm playing. I'm playing the pro trend. I'm coming into the anchored view up already. Let's make this white. I should get the New York Open print horizontally, seeing as I updated it. If it hasn't worked, it's going to be another day without being able to put it on the screen, which would be annoying. Okay, anchor view up being sold into so far. Coming back to the lower time frame RBS level. QQQ selling into its view up so far, no reclaim. SPY is into its view up also currently. Let's just let this shake out and do what it needs to do. Remember, the higher the better right now. We want it to go higher, not because I'm looking for longs, because I'm looking for a better short location. I do not want to short near the low of day. Give you a readout on the mag right now. Tesla 1.96% down, Nvidia 2.5% down, Meta 1.9% down, Google 1% down, Amazon over 2% down, Microsoft over 1% down, and Apple 2.67 and accelerating 2.72. It's starting to accelerate to the downside. I'm actually going to put Apple here. So it protected its low so far, Apple. I'm watching Apple if it's going to break that. Let's just call it 193. Thanks for all the knowledge I share. 1,100 to go into my 150 test account. Hey, thank you so much, my friend. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. Very kind of you. Let's have a good day here today, folks. Higher the better right now. If they can squeeze this up, it would be fantastic. Remember, shorts always get stuck and they're shorting low of days without anything to really play off. It's not even attempted to break the low right now. Where is my charts gone? Yeah, I'm not going to say I was happy when I woke up and came to saw the chart this morning. I was like, oh my God, waited for this move all week and they do it when I'm asleep. I knew it would happen. I knew it would happen. It would have been nice if Trump had just waited till maybe like, an hour before the open or something. I think he did it at 7:30, 6, 5, 4:30. Was it 7:30? It would have been 4:30 my time. I'm not up at 4:30. I'm up at 5:30. That's as early as I go. Here we go. Apple in a big old squeeze out upside, starting to try and clear some of its liquidity, starting to get into some of these gaps. You're seeing VIX starting to break down a little bit. Like I said, there was probably a long here counter trend. I'm not playing the long. I want to see what happens when we get into some of these key levels up and around here. You could argue should just been long out the gate because it's 100 points already, but I like to try and stick with a pro trend when possible. So ES coming back towards its VWAP up. So 805 is VWAP up and 200-day on the ES. For those interested, if we reclaim that, then we're probably going to go for previous day low. Julian, your ninja won't open. Now, I've had that to me a few times. You just got to keep trying. I don't know why that happens sometimes, but you've just got to keep trying. So Apple finding some sellers up here. Did it clear that liquidity wick? No, not yet. I still want to drive higher here. Lovely, Tyson. Yeah, like I said, there was a good long there. You could see it building. It made sense for a long here out the gate. I've just got to see if and where we get stuck. Remember, if it doesn't find sellers and it starts reclaiming previous day low, it can be like another failed trade outside the range. If we start trading back inside previous day low, there you go. It's your favorite counter trend long. Oh, and you can't get on. Oh, I'm so sorry, Julian. Yeah. I'm so sorry. This the pullback leg long. It makes sense, doesn't it? It does make sense. Shorts get stuck in the hole. We do these big moves higher, and then we see where we start getting stuck, and then we try and trade it back down towards the lows. Watching Apple here. It's now taking that first level of liquidity. It is into its first little gap. Is it going to find sellers here, or is it going to go all the way for previous day low? ES getting very close to its VWAP, very close to its 200-day moving average. All right, it's coming up to trade into it right now. Remember, we said that 805 kind of level. If it reclaims that, then I'd say previous day low is possible. The problem is if we're going to get all the way up to previous day low, with strong momentum, which is what you're seeing now, right? Big squeeze all the way back up. It's going to become harder and harder to short, all right? Because if the momentum's screaming up and there's too many shorts trapped in the hole, it's where it gets tricky. All right, ES2 VWAP here. ES2 VWAP here. Does the ES start to sell versus VWAP now? 200 days just above it. It didn't quite tap VWAP yet, but it's close. Remember, not looking to get front side in this, looking for a backside move of this like squeeze when it's finished squeezing. Squeezes can last longer than you think as well, so important to remember that. There you go. So here's VWAP, here's 200-day moving average on the ES. If it starts reclaiming these levels, previous day low is not out of the question. This would be the dangerous move if it's going to go for previous day low. Dangerous for those looking for the shorts. Not much on the book, by the way. Just so you're aware, not much on the book here. I'm just going to get a refill of my water here very quickly. Okay. So Apple's still going upside. Market's still red, but it's trying to recover some of those losses. Waiting to see if we get a turn soon. We're extended away from those flow zones. Very extended away. They're all the way down at 866 right now. Move you to a 1 minute chart if you're interested. And VWAP all the way down here. Why hasn't it put my New York Open on? That is a little bit annoying, seeing as I just paid for that. New York Open. Let's do an anchor off. All right, still building and holding here. Might build for another leg up, another squeeze. ES still stuck under its VWAP. Did tap its 200-day moving average. Remember, that is a classic over-under level for institutions. Do Fridays usually have more volume? No, I wouldn't say so. Starting to see a little bit of sell pressure step into ES and Apple. Starting to put a little piece on here. No, not looking for any reclaims, just got a little piece on. I want this wick to be sold into here. If they don't sell into it, I'll probably take it off straight away because I don't want to get caught if they need to do another leg. Yeah, let go of it straight away. So locked in tiny, 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 tiny piece there. Just trying to time it if it's ready, but there was no shift, but it was just in case they're going to go straight back down. I'm very careful with my stops in these kind of moves. This just takes me back to the small cap days. Feels like a small cap NQ when it trades like this. ES definitely getting stuck at that VWAP. The question is it going to build liquidity to go for one more drive? I'm impressed with Apple this morning. That's a good opening drive. Starting to let go here. Adding back in again, having one more attempt. Again, tiny size, stopping the money. Either goes or it doesn't. Rotate my accounts. It's not ready. I don't think it's ready yet. I'm gonna wait. If it flushes without me, then I've fluffed my times, but it's okay. I'm just watching Apple here, building this sort of 5-minute flag. I want to see Apple do a failed break to the upside, not hold like this, which is why I cut. Flow zone's all bullish right now. Lower time frame, that is. Nothing else. 5-minute and above, all very, very bearish on the flow zones. It's just this lower time frame. Don't do it now. Don't do me dirty. Apple's still holding here. The reason I'm looking at Apple is because it was the catalyst for this move this morning. I feel like, why is he so focused on it? Just because it was the catalyst of this move this morning. I want to see how it's going to operate. Interesting thing is like how can you put tariffs on one company? How does that work? How can you say, oh, we're going to tariff the iPhone 25%? Who is that helping? The main catalyst, I think, was the Apple 25% tariff, because what that indicates is he can do whatever he wants, and that will spook the market. Imagine he then goes, all right, Google, we're going to tariff you this, and Meta, we're tariffing you this, and if it starts to become individual, that does not give shareholders confidence. All right, and I think that's one big thing. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's my read on it. Still building out a flag here. Apple still holding. VWAP going to be key, I would say. Vic's trying to find a bid. Yeah, home sale 17 minutes. Thank you. I do just see what you're talking about. I'm recommending a 50% tariff on the European Union starting June 1st. It's what we've been saying. I've been saying it here for like the last week. It's kind of nuts, isn't it? You know, think about how big the move up is off a tariff pause. That's not good news. It's just a pause. It's not like, hey, we're not doing any of this now. No, it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just pausing for a minute. All right, starting to let go here into the flow zones. If we start to let go of the flow zones and the anchored VWAP, we're going to get that deeper move. So I'm watching this to see if I can time it. Here's the move into the first anchor. I'm in this again, doing another attempt. They keep absorbing though. They're absorbed again off that anchor. We'll need to see this like come in with some volume for a downside move. Watch your ATR as well here, folks. Can still hold around here. This is your anchor off the sell. This is your morning anchor. Nothing has let go yet. You almost want to see one more push and fail. Gives you a bit more confidence. One more push up, even if it makes new high, and then just sell it aggressively. Are robots cheaper than labor? And how much would the process be fully automated? It could be a big win if they cut down on shipping expenses and make the iPhones robots. I think they did an estimate though, like to get that set up was going to cost, you know, an extortionate amount of money. It's not, and also just like all of it, right? The land, the tax you pay on the part, everything, all of it, I think was quite expensive. But who knows? That's above my pay grade. All I do know is it scared the market. It scared the market, right? So we're just here to day trade. So if we can get catalysts like that scare the market, we're looking for shorts when it's a pro trend move. If they shake off this news, I'd be surprised. But if they shake off this news, we go for a squeeze all the way back up. Back into the anchor again. You're seeing this move up and down and up and down and up and down and back into the anchor again. Apple's at its VWAP right now as well. If they start letting go of some of these key levels, there's a deeper drive in here. Big level here. You can see that anchor we're tapping into. Starting to sell it through it. If we get acceptance through this, we can attack down towards low of day, or at least towards this level here. 30s. If we accept through that, we go underneath. You'd be partial into these moves down here. And then you're holding runners for a break of the low of day. And then if we break low of day and we retest it and stay heavy, there's probably another trade. How long have we got? 15 minutes here. So your opening range is now set. It's actually pretty decent today. 131 points opening range. You've got to watch your ATRs. Here comes the fails. SPY, ES coming into key structure here. Back towards the New York Open. That's where we're at now. If we let go of the New York Open, cash traders go red on the day. Yeah, they did three. They did. I can't remember the fact. I remember Jess telling me it was a lot. It was a huge amount of planes, wasn't it? Okay, this is the level bulls will need to hold. And if they fail to hold this level, this New York Open and this RBS, let's just get rid of this red line. Don't need this. They fail to hold around here, it's going to be a problem for them. So far, technically, lower time frame still bullish, higher time frame bearish. Market's still in a sell. Reading the names out there are still very much in a sell. The question is there more downside pressure? Can we go down towards low days? Still in this, looking for a continuation if it will allow me, especially if we can get through that New York Open, which we keep protecting. Got to be careful here. We're right into an RBS on the ES, and Apple's trying to absorb VWAP, so nothing wrong with taking partials into here. I've locked most of mine in now. Not fully trusting this. Here's New York Open. Apple letting go of VWAP. SPY into an RBS. 15 minutes left. We're near the low of the New York session right now. Here's the sell. They're starting to aggressively sell this a bit more. Watching this New York Open very, very, very carefully. Do not get caught here if they start bidding this up. There's liquidity down here at 40 and 35 on the book. Remember, this is an RBS level. Look left, respect the structure. We've been short from here, trying to get down to here. If we let go of this, we can get a bigger move down into here. If we don't let go of it, they're going to drive up, and then we need to see if there's fails. If there's no fails, then we need to respect structure. Structure right now would be, there's your double bottom, there's your push, there's your hold. All right, if they drive this up and make a new high, it's a problem. If they fail around here, that will be the rotation. Leaning short side all the time, it stays heavy. Apple again back to VWAP. Right, so there's a bit of a dance here in the market while they make a decision. Love a continuation day. I would absolutely love a continuation day. Whether they let us have it or not is another thing. And remember, we had a big move overnight. That was the move we would have wanted this morning if they just waited for us to be around. That was the move we would have wanted. Apple absorbing VWAP here. These are big, big levels. It's got to make a decision. Maybe it makes it at the top of the hour. Hourly chart doesn't look too bad. And guess what we tested on the hourly chart? Remember this big expanding range? Look what we tested right into it. But, you know, trend lines don't work. You know, they don't work. If you're a ICT trader. For everyone else in the world, though, apparently they work. And right into it, dynamic S&R. It is building liquidity here. I would be very, very careful here if they don't get that breakdown through the New York Open soon. Remember, shorts, they get stuck near the lows. So we need to be covering some of our position and protecting some of our profits. Yeah, Trump comments probably on the EU also move the market for sure. Everything's moving the market. Anything to do with tariffs will move this market. We're up based on a pause. I keep saying it. I've said it the whole time. It's a huge move up based on something happening later, not something not happening based on complete unknowns. Right? They've caught the shorts again there. So here's the drive back up, testing 900s. It might be one of those times, Paul, where we don't get the moves that we want because they happen. I mean, unfortunately, the problem with the futures market is when you get exaggerated moves that from time to time that can happen. But let's just see. It's still very, very early. It's only been 20 minutes, 21 minutes. Plenty of time, my friend, plenty of time. Okay, 900's coming up here. We're midpoint of this opening range. Nothing to do right here. Cutting all these trades, all these runners gone. Let's just see if they've caught it and they're going to go send it higher, then they're going to send it higher. Maybe a retest here on the ES. So the ES RBS level held. New York Open held. Everything stayed bullish, lower time frame. Higher time frame remains bearish. All right, higher time frame is remaining bearish. There's nothing bullish about the higher time frame. It's just a reprice on the H1. There's nothing else higher time frame. We start letting go of New York Open, I think we get a bigger trade down, which is starting to attempt to happen here. Can we get a break under all these levels? This is where buyers just came in once. If those buyers that came in get liquidated, we go lower. If they don't and they protect it, we squeeze. So this is the battle. Yeah, there's home sales at 10. I know. I'm not too worried about the home sales at 10. Again, I'm not in a position right now. Had a couple of attempts. Locked in some pretty decent money here this morning. Not huge, but decent. My biggest concern would be if we squeeze up to previous day low, even though there's some good supply up there. The momentum it would take to get there, I think, would be a problem. What I'd probably rather see is an H1 peak above the old H1 high and fail. Yeah, mag's getting sold heavy. So still holding flow zones, lower time frames bullish, holding on to these anchored VWAPs right now, holding the New York VWAP. Can't short this until it's ready. It will be obvious. What are they doing here? This seems like a lot of back and forth. Big volume came in right then. Is there more news, folks? Book just completely cleared out, and we're not at the news point yet. Book just completely cleared out. Back to that New York Open. Back to the anchor VWAP. Back to New York Open. The book cleared out. Starting to come back on the bid again on the book now. What was that? What was that? You can see it on Bookmap. That was not a joke. That was a huge market sell order. Massive. They absolutely slammed that. 126, 128, 157, 266, 128, 118, 97, 125, 215, 251, 264. All got filled sell side within seconds. New York Open again. Holding New York open again. Man, I'm telling you, I'm going to move to Europe. The trading in, if you're in Europe, you get a bit of China, you get the London, and you get the New York Open. It's like being a trader on the West Coast is rubbish. I just feel like all week, London and Asia have had some clean moves, and then we get in this. We're trapped between this. I'd much rather trade this. Breakdown, nice trend, chop. Now we're going to try and go up to repair some of the trend, but then we're going to have to time it really, really well. How long we got? 5 minutes here. Old H1 high is at 954. A peak above that on the new H1 and a fail would be good. A peak above that and a sustained bid will be a problem for shorts. Yeah, hopefully, Aaron. Hey, I said I'm returning to Europe, not I'm returning to England. I've got no interest in going back to England, my friend. Zero. But Spain or something, that would be nice. 4 minutes left till this H1. Portugal have good tax regimes. I've been looking in Portugal quite a lot recently. Yeah, and the food. The food's the most important thing, isn't it? The food and the beer. Good food, cheap beer. I wouldn't go to Greece. The economy is absolutely stuffed there. Yeah, I've spent some decent time in Portugal. You'll see Brad D in chat. He lives in Portugal at the moment. ASD spent a lot of time in Portugal. I'd probably, like, my wife would probably want to be near Lisbon, so probably somewhere like Cascais or something like that, so we could surf. Boom dia. All right, how long we got here? 2.5 minutes till we get the. It's still. I don't think this is going to be a choppy day. I think we're going to be okay. We're just going to have to be a bit patient. I think the move's coming. We just got to be a bit patient. It's because we've had a huge move down. We expect the pullback. All right. There's the break. There's the break. There's the break. There's sideways. We expect some pullback. Protecting this. Something like this will be great. Just going to have to be patient for it. Stuck at all these anchors right now. Just let the news come out of the way, and then we can join. Apple is finding a bid here though off VWAP again. Yeah, it's just a bit far away. I really like Thailand. I really like Thailand, but it's got its own issues. It's a bit far away. One minute left. Get this news out of the way. See if they clear any of this book a little bit, and then we'll go from there. I tell you who got paid though. Those huge orders on the book selling all week long, while we prop the market up, and we must have seen some massive orders go through the books this week on the sell side. Yeah, the time isn't a worry. I just mean it's far away from family and stuff like that. It's a long flight back. But I've done Bangkok, Koh Samui, and Koh 10 seconds here, folks. Book's completely cleared out. Buyer at 837. No one else on the book right now. No one else on the book right now. This is going to be a nothing burger. Hopefully squeeze out, push up, and fail. Can go above the opening range into view up. That's also fine. Higher the better. Remember, higher the better if we're going to look for a retest towards the lows. Right now, it is holding an RBS. We have to be, admit what's happening on the charts. Bulls in the New York session have taken control versus this level here. Bulls have taken control. We need a squeeze out, and then we need a backside if we're going to look for the shorts. If you're bullish, looking for the squeezes, that's also okay. It's just not what I'm looking for today. It might mean I need to wait until the afternoon if they take all day to set it up. So pushing to 900, failing 900 there. New hourly bar here. Watching this hourly bar as we transition. Do we go red on this hourly bar, or do they want to take out the old hourly bar highs? No, pro trend is not bullish. Zoom out. Zoom out. Pro trend. The only time frame bullish right now is your lower time frame. Nothing else is bullish. Nothing else. Pro trend definitely not bullish. Think about your swing legs. If you go on an hourly or a 30-minute, think about your swing legs. Where did we break down from? This is one leg. This is one pullback. Pro trend is that move here. This is counter trend, setting up the pullback leg on a higher time frame. That's what's happening right now. VIX still failing, 23s here on the VIX. Still hasn't found a bid this morning. There is a little gap here if it's going to go down to previous day high into 22s. Come on, market. Can we do something, market? Just basing out here, starting to go sideways. If we start rolling over, it'd be fun. If we drive up and fail, it'd be fun. If we do this all day, it would be not fun. I don't think we'll do this all day. I really don't. There's a big sell in the market. Normally doesn't mean we go sideways for the rest of the day. Yeah, still stuck under its VWAP. SPY is still above its VWAP. QQQ right at its VWAP. Still holding its gap on the Q, the old new week opening gap. We drifted into it. We found bids there this morning. SPY well and truly into it. It's just a bit of a mess right now. SPY back to VWAP, 200 day above it. Sorry, ES back to VWAP, 200 day above it. Through that, previous day low is not out the question. Like I said, if we get up to previous day low, I'd be very worried as a short seller or looking for a short up there, given the momentum. It would be a good location, but how we approach it will be important. They're starting to squeeze this market now. They've caught shorts again at the lows. Like we talked about yesterday, if shorts would just learn this fucking lesson down here, we wouldn't have to sit through these shitty days like this in the morning. We'd actually just get nice moves with continuation, but apparently they cannot learn their lessons down there. If we start to reclaim, you want to be careful if we start to reclaim above previous hourly high, so high on the session. It's fine to poke above it and fail. What it's not fine to do is get above it and start bidding. VIX still failing into its gap now, 22.72. Remember, it can come down to 22 if it wants. It can come down to 22 if it wants to. Double top there on ES. Failed its 200-day moving average, still holding VWAP, still lower time frame bullish. We will need to wait for the turn, so when lower time frame becomes in line with the higher time frame. ES through the 200-day or poking the 200-day. New high of day here on the ES. NQ lagging slightly. Mag's still in a bleed here, by the way, folks. It might be recovering, but it's not like anything's gone red to green. Watching to see. I want to see, at this point, I want to see this H1 break the high and find a sell. All right, I want to see the H1 break the high and find a sell. There's your H1. We want to take this liquidity and we want to form some kind of bar that looks like this. All right, so like a little wick above into some of this and a sell. So we can get some sort of sell back down into these levels where we can take a partial and hold a runner. If it starts just basing above here, it's going to be very hard to trade it. So this is your wedge that we've had for 7-8 days. Right? It's the downtrend wedge where we bid off and bid off and bid off and we've broken it. We need to sell back down from there. Location is getting better for the sell, but the momentum is still upside right now. VWAP just above, sellers here at 950 and 960. Not too much size though. Squeeze continues. The squeeze continues. I'm watching this. You do have divergence. ES did take out the highs. It is back under its VWAP now. There's definitely a little bit of divergence here. Still very, very bullish on the lower time frame. And we've not rolled over. Can afford to just be very, very patient. Let this build out. It can build out. You can make it simple. Like let it build out a channel or fail its trend or whatever you want to use that lets you see it. Yes, still into that gap. Sorry, yes, VIX still into that gap. 2250s now. Remember, previous day high is 22s. We said it can trade down to 22s. Does it find a bid down at 22s? If it doesn't find a bid down at 22s, then it's going to go 21s. And previous day close would be 20.22. That would be a terrible, terrible thing if we got down there. Still rejecting that trend. We didn't sweep the H1 high on the NQ. We did on the ES. So the move I want to see on the NQ ES has just done it. Yeah, starting to get a little stuck here at VWAP after sweeping the high. It's at an RBS level on lower time frame. Just watching it carefully. Would like NQ to do one more drive higher and fail. That would set up actually decent range for the day. Yeah, into the fibs as well, getting very close. Would be good. Would be good if they would do that move. Back to flow zones. Starting to see a bit of sell pressure here in the market. Come on, just do one more move. Don't leave it with divergence. One more move would be good. Sorry. Looking for a poke through. I was just like measuring out from swing to swing. Somewhere in here would be nice. If they start reclaiming though, then maybe no pro trend. But you would think we get a retest today. As in a push through and a sell back down towards where we found bids this morning. You'd think you'd get that play. Plenty of time until initial balance and stuff as well, folks. Plenty of time. So here's VWAP. Here's the squeeze out. 980s, 2100 above. Good volume here on this push. Really good volume on this push. I'm just going to check the news here. Really good volume. That's amazing follow through. This is the type of thing we want to see. I want to see buyers chase into it and then fail. Again, if we start reclaiming previous day low, I'm going to be probably not interested in the short. If we start to reclaim previous day low, I probably will not be interested in the short at that point. Because it means it can go and take out 2100, 116 or whatever it is. And if we get up there, we're reclaiming all the old range. This will basically be excess, which is just left behind. So you want to see the buyers who are trapped above stay trapped. You don't want them to come out. This is the type of swipe I wanted to see, though. Now, can we see some failures step into the market? Back to VWAP here. Selling that lower time frame algorithm right now. You can see the tap into the lower time frame algo was perfect. I've got a tiny piece on here versus that. I'm going to see if I can let this work. Back to the opening range here. They can find a bid here if they want. This is counter trend. I'm very, very early, so I'm very, very small, and I'm stopping the money because they can just find a bid on the orb and just keep sending it higher if they're going to be nasty today. I'm not going to add anything to this until I see clear failures on the H1. So my stop's at 79s right now. Just the body of that, those last two candles. Needs to get back underneath the orb. If it doesn't do that, I'll probably get stopped out. But basically break even. And can have another attempt later. If they're going to keep squeezing though, I'm not going to keep having goes at this. There's no sellers present at key levels. Then I need to respect that. It's very close to stopping me out. They're holding the orb. So orb traders are coming in right now, trying to absorb this. For that opening range break to the highs. It's the first test of the orb, so it is possible they go for a new squeeze. We are lower time frame bullish. I'm very early, which is why I'm very small size, about to get stopped out in the money for a $70 winner. Absolutely pathetic. I think the danger right now is, does it go up to previous day low? That would be the danger at this point if they're not going to fail here. That would not make me comfortable if we're going to trade all the way up towards 2150s. That's going to be really, really hard to play against. Maybe the counter trend. No, just got stopped out there by a tick or two. I'll just wait now. Because if they keep absorbing the orb, I want to be careful. We got VWAP here and orb. If they start failing this and we get like a big flush moment, then I'll join back in. But right now, lower time frames upside. There's no failures. I put one on versus the lower time frame algo. Once I saw the tap and reject, I just put one on just in case. Stopped out in the money. We're back to orb again. How often does Apex have a sale? Most of the time it has a sale on. Most of the time it has 80% sale on once every few months at least, and they normally last a month. The 90% sales once or twice a year. When those come, you want to grab a decent amount. Still holding the opening range here. It's very, very tight here, whether it's going to flush it or not. Letting go of it now. I'm watching this carefully for a join if they let go of flow zones. Not if they don't let go of flow zones. Can just be backed into structure and find a bid. Thank you, darling. Still holding flow zones. Momentum still upside lower time frame. Starting to get a bit dangerous on the 15-minute if we're going to find bids here. Previous day lows looking not very far away if they're going to find bids here. Lower time frame definitely upside right now. Higher time frame wants to go and retest the low once it's finished squeezing. The question is, at what point has this market finished squeezing? Still holding the opening range, still holding VWAP, still holding flow zones, still making higher highs and higher lows on like a 5-minute and a 2-minute. Index is greed, yeah. What are we at, like 70% greed or something? I mean, I'm not joking when I said Monday was more buying transactions by retail in the stock market than ever before. We saw more buys from retail in the stock market on Monday than ever before. If that's not a sign that the top might be in for a little bit, I don't know what is. Starting to let go of that opening range here. They're still absorbing flow zones. They still have structure on their side, but they're starting to fail versus that lower time frame algo for now. You got to think when they're done with this, it could get very, very nasty if they're ever done with it. Starting to look a bit heavier here on the tape. If pops start to fail here, we might get a backside move. It's a big if. But if pops start to fail, we might get a backside move here. I'd be watching that orb and the view up. I'm not ruling out a low of day move today, honestly, folks. I'm really not. The squeeze is over. That's where we're going to go. Still bullish technically. Just want to see a drive up and failures at this point. Build out a light sort of right shoulder liquidity, something that we can get involved in if they're going to do it. Are you done fecking around? Are you done faffing about, market? Or do you need to trap some more? I think the scary thing is there's no like big buys down below for it to sort of magnet towards right now, but it's starting to bleed. You can see it's starting to roll, starting to let go of flow zones. Nice. Okay, I'm interested. Watching 900s. Nice. Small piece on here. I would like a drive up higher though, really. In towards view up or to really get stuck into this. Because we're just back to an RBS here. I think there's a trade setting up soon, a bigger trade. Don't want like a sweep and a drive back to high of day. Just want to see if we peek up a bit and find some sellers on the tape. The big problem is the sellers on the tape right now are at 21k. What? This is a problem when market makers are in complete control. It's like they don't put any bids lower. They know that we'll go and search the liquidity higher, and then they just start stacking it higher, hoping it goes up there and fills them. It's quite hard to play against that when they're going to play games. They were playing these same games last night. I can't remember who I was in Discord with last night. There was a couple of us, and you could see they were manipulating the market around last night. There was a seller on the tape, and he kept lifting and lifting and lifting to drag it higher, and he never filled. And that was in Asia session. At the beginning of Asia session, they were playing games. All right, so if you see pop start to fail here, you might get a backside move. You can wait for a like clean failure if you want, because technically, if they're going to use this as a trap underneath this low, they can go back for highs. Come on, TradingView. It's very annoying when you do this in the mornings. Okay, if they use this as the trap, they can go back for highs. If they fail here, you're going to need a lower high, and really the safest short will be back down here, not before then. And again, oh man, the divergence just became massive. I only just see that. ES reclaiming everything already. All right, no, I'm gonna wait. They're playing games here. For sure they're playing games here. 100% these guys are playing games here this morning. And I bet you 21,000 and 21,010, which are not big orders, just completely disappear. The guys was there last night since 6 p.m. open. Yeah, we caught a nice one there. It was good, but they were spoofing. And I bet you these guys are the same. Look at the size that was down at like 875, and look at the moment it gets lifted and it gets put on in a sell at 21,000. Like, they don't even hide it, which is the crazy thing. They don't even hide it. Okay. So he trapped on that swing there. Flow zone's still bullish. Can't short this. I think they're going previous day low at this point. They're just being nasty, which is probably max pain for shorts. When you think about it, it's why I'm saying I would feel very uncomfortable with it up there. If they get through previous day low, they probably go 21,115. Look at Apple. 5 points off its low now. I set a price alert earlier up at like basically 99.50, and at the moment it feels like it's just going to get there. It feels like it's just going to get there. They've caught them again, so trend's still holding. So I'm very nimble in this market. I do not faff around. If it doesn't do what I want to see when I want to see it, I'm out. Timing these things is very hard. But also not up that big because of it. Just small winners, and some of these were from last night. No, I didn't see that. I'll have a look. I'll have a look for you, Peter. Yeah, I'm pretty tired as well. I think when we've traded last night as well, it's eats into your next day. Not seeing anything on USD. Still holding that orb here. They're still finding bids on VWAP and ORD. These are big, big levels where they're at. Like I said, previous day low does not look that far away now. Oh, man. Do my exercises. Forgot. Doctor would tell me off. All right, underneath the VWAP, underneath the orb, are they ready? What are they doing? What are the games? Do they bid this back up, still holding structure, or are they ready to let go? I have no idea. What I would say is, though, is shorts got stuck again. Again today, you've seen shorts get stuck at the low of day. It definitely, like it makes it hard, doesn't it? Basically, when we're looking for that rotation, we're looking for that breakdown on the short side, and they don't give it to us all week, and then they do it in the morning, and then you get people that are impatient, and they come flying to the screens, and they smack short at the open, and then they make our day, for people who are a little bit more smart and can take their time, much harder. Much, much harder. And there's no one on the tape to the downside. It's the worrying thing. Like, there's two ways to look at that. When it falls, it falls. The other way of looking at it is like, why is it going to go down there if there's no liquidity? I guess those are the two tricky things right now. There's no one. Just checking my levels versus it. There's literally no one on the book down below right now, and that is a scary thought. And it seems like they've done that a lot recently. The games in this market, I would like, and I genuinely say this, I've been here a long time. The games in this market seem worse than I've ever seen. They really do. They seem worse than I've ever seen. It's very scary. Icebergs, yeah, maybe icebergs, like for absorption. But I don't remember seeing books, like, I don't know if any of you got level 2 or book map, but I don't remember seeing books where you zoom out and it's just a black hole. Especially like where I'm talking about the black hole, like basically from here to here and below, there's nothing until 750. 750's the first order, basically. Here. There's just nothing. Absolutely nothing. For me, that's scary to see. Like basically under 925 and then gone. This area sucks. Yeah, this area sucks, Mike. Well, it's decision point. We talked about on the hourly, like it's got to make its decision. Is it going to roll, or are we going all the way up here? If we go all the way up here, it's going to get up there because shorts just keep trying and trying and trying and trying and trying. And then I'm going to sound like the same guy that's been here all week. The people that are going to stop me being able to get long-term buys into this market are going to be annoying, shitty retail short sellers who need to fuck off and get out of the market so our job can become easier. The moment they brought zero DTEs into this market, they completely fucked it for people who basically want to play long-term. And I honestly believe that, which is why I'm saying it. Zero DTEs changed the way this market moves because it's got absolute gamblers piling in at shitty points, which means it never comes back to levels that you want it to come back to. And your chances of getting those levels are so small now. You've got like tiny, tiny, tiny windows. Like you would have thought when we did that huge move down to, let's just see where it is, 16,500, that we would have consolidated down there for a while. But no, we fucking ripped off it, and we've never given a decent pullback soon for people to get like good long-term buys in. I'm going to turn this aircon off. It's absolutely freezing. So cold. All right, they're going to come for these highs at the IB high. I don't know what they're trying to do. This is just getting ridiculous now. Chop fest. It's good range. Will the pro trend show up? And like I said, those guys at 100 and 21,000 and 21,010s, they know what they're doing. They know there's no liquidity below. They've put their orders there to make the market move up to them. I fucking guarantee it. They move at the moment it gets there. Yeah, but the zero DTEs have changed the market forever and ever and ever. And that's probably why they bought them in. It's completely changed this market and how we move and how we operate. All right, the squeeze continues. Apple is starting to roll over back to VWAP here. MAG is starting to show some weakness. We are continuing to go up. VIX is basing towards its low of day. It has not hit previous day high yet. This looks like potential breakout. From here will get us to that previous day low. It's exactly where I did not want the market to go today, because I think if we start recovering that, then we're going to let the buyers out. And that is the problem. When we recover daily levels, we let people who are stuck out of their positions. I don't want to let them out of their positions. I want them to be in pain. We're not going to get what we want today by the looks of it. Not this morning, anyway. One of you said you were waiting for the short previous day low on ES. Are you going to get it? Well, it's very, at the moment, I'd say it's very possible. It's very possible. I don't know, but it's possible. They're building the liquidity to get there. 0DTE is same day expiries. They're the options which expire the same days. Come on, market. What are you doing? Absorbing VWAP there now. Initial balance is just above us, which is high of day. Break of that probably takes you previous day low. The one place I didn't want to go today, did not really want to get up to previous day low. I think we talked about it pre-market. I think we talked about it in Discord. It becomes a dangerous situation for any continuation trade, which at the moment doesn't look like it's going to pan out. Maybe they let it go in the afternoon, but Fridays love to trend, and the moment that trend looks upside, if they get through previous day low and they get through 112, I'm not ruling out a move all the way back up through PDC, and at that point you might as well go for previous day high. And that is the danger of what they're allowing to happen right now, right? Because if too many shorts get stuck in the hole down here, they cause this squeeze. If these buyers are able to get back in the money, they cause this squeeze. If these shorts get taken out, they cause this squeeze. This is the problem if we go too high. I'm happy to lean short as long as we don't get back above those levels. The moment we get back above those levels, when I look at a daily candle, then all the thesis goes out the window. Is making liquidity to go up to 21,100. Yeah, it's very possible. It's very, very possible it's doing that. Which would be the bottom side of London, right? Yeah, bottom side of London. I mean, I just can't get my head around the nonsense. We go in a range for 7 days. We break out in the London and after the London session because of tariffs on Europe and tariffs on phones, and we go back upside. Zero continuation in this market. It's crazy when you think about that. Basically, what happened this morning with Trump is he confirmed people's worst nightmares that the tariff things are not over, and we've bid all the way back up. Totally normal. Totally normal. And you've got the fear and greed index, greed at 78% right now. Yeah. Not fucking getting into that again, I tell you that much. All right, this looks squeezy to me. Looks like it wants to continue for a new shove up. The amount of offers I get from prop firms at the moment is scary. They're popping up out of nowhere. They will probably let this go when everyone's given up. It's normally the way. So coming into the IB high across the board. How long we got to a new bar? Plenty of time still for a new hourly bar. Still holding dips into flow zones. Still holding VWAP as we come back down towards VWAP on the NQ. And some of the mag names. Oh my God. If they just do a giant flush now, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to trade it. Like I said, they probably do it when everyone's given up. They haven't swept the highs, though, which makes me not very confident in this move yet. Back towards VWAP, still holding flow zones. Holding those 950s. If they let go here and they get nasty, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, folks. We haven't swept the highs. We're holding VWAP. Should go back to highs, really. You don't like. I mean, I don't want to say it can't, because look at what it did. Was it yesterday or the day before? NQ left the highs, the weekly high, by, I don't know, a point. I mean, it was ridiculous, and then failed. That sell is still at 21,000 and above. Still looking to get filled up there. The market probably still looks to fill him up there. I do not trust a thing in this market right now, given how it's acted the last week or so. Still making higher highs, higher lows, sorry, not making higher highs, but still bullish in structure until it proves otherwise. It can squeeze out here. It can definitely squeeze out here. Yeah, it could be a giant bear flag for sure, because that's basically what a pullback leg is, but it can also go a lot higher yet. If they trap in here and trap in here and trap in here. I'm just getting a bit bored of not getting the pro trend legs in New York. They get the pro trend legs in the overnight session, and we get the counter trend legs, which I don't like trading in New York. Well, yeah, I mean, we expect the pullback leg pull, like we expect this. It can't go straight down. The question is, how high can it go before it gives up? And if it goes too high because too many shorts have chased in, then the trade won't work. But like, how many times have we said this week? Just not nice. It's just not nice. Holding VWAP here. Apple at VWAP right now. Apple at pre-market, like, I don't know what you'd call it, like an RBS pre-market level. Market all still red. Mac all still red. I tell you what, the holiday on Monday can't come soon enough because this must be some of the worst New York action we've had for as long as I can remember, going back years. This week's action has been some of the worst I can remember. The most garbage, manipulated bullshit I've ever seen. Dropping it after the close, doing news when no one's here, like, it's absolutely terrible. Like, even that rating that came last Friday, they did it after the close on a Friday. It's crazy. All right, squeeze is coming then. They just fucking have to go back up again and go for previous day low and make sure that I can't get the trade that I want today. Thank God I made some money last night. Yeah, I know Monday's off. That's what I'm saying. I'm looking forward to Monday being off. I'm looking forward to it. Really. We've got divergence at the high again. My God, man. This is ridiculous. No. Raphael, I do not agree with that. I do not agree with what you've just said. That's what it wants everyone to say. The liquidity is above it. I've said it all morning. There's a fucking reason they keep putting liquidity at 21,000 and 21,010. It's because they want it to go there. They're playing. I can't say it enough. If you're not watching the level 2, you can't see the games they're playing. They are playing games right now. This is all we've had all week. Is this kind of action? Oh, it's enough to make me want to not bother trading, day trading, honestly, and just swing trade. It's that bad. Back down towards the lows again, leaving liquidity both sides again, divergence at the highs again. What nonsense are we going to do now? Sweeping the lows. Probably going to come back inside again now. There you go. Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. Are we going to get the lunchtime play? Sideways, 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 sideways. Lunch, let it go. Maybe. Yes, back to its VWAP. This thing, you got divergence across the board right now. VIX finding a bid for the first time today on a 5-minute bar. For the first time today, it's found a bid on a 5-minute bar. We're still just to trend, though, on the ETFs. That's all we are. We're to trend. We're starting to break outside of trend on the NQ, but on the ETFs, we're just to trend. Nothing more than that. If we start getting big flushes, you're going to need to see momentum come in the market, big downside candles, and pops fail. If they're just going to keep sweeping liquidity and turning inside, they're just going to keep trapping and trapping and trapping and trapping. So you need to see momentum come here. Here's the deep pullback flow zones. There is liquidity resting here at 31s. Again, on the book, there is nothing down below. There's no liquidity right now for it to even aim for. It's what I'd be most scared about at the moment. All that resting liquidity at 990 now. So shorts, like thinking about a short right now, if it gets up to 990, you're going to get your face ripped off. That's like with liquidity resting above it, with a reason for it to go there as well, because it's left it all. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't mind joining this if it proves. Get a small piece on. But I mean, there's liquidity at 11s and it can save it. Swing lows at 11s, remember. The swing lows at 11s, they can save that. I would not be surprised for this to go and rip out 990. Not in the slightest. Hopefully not. Hopefully they set up some form of lower high here. Apple now under VWAP for the first time today. The book's completely thinned out. So there's a big seller at 21,000. Everyone else has vanished for the day. They're done. They've thought, I can't be bothered with this. ES did sweep. Yeah, that's the one thing. You did get divergence there. Like I said, you did get divergence there. And VIX is trying to find a bid. But, I mean, VIX really needs to start breaking out of 23s. I'm honestly ready to call it a weekend if this doesn't start failing, because it's making our life too hard at the moment. Trading shouldn't be as hard as it's been this week. NQ's been a real bitch to trade. The amount of times we left liquidity. I think the worst one was it here. Where was the drive up? Here. It was this drive up here to 66s, leaving whatever it was just above. I can't remember where it was. Leaving this, was it? Whatever it was, that drive up towards high of week when it left it by a tick. It's just gross. Okay, back down towards New York VWAP here, finding a bit of a bid. If pops start to fail, I don't mind. But even this is gross. These three highs here, even that's disgusting how it's left that. we said there's liquidity at, what was it, 11s, should I say? 11s. If it really wants to go for it, there's liquidity at 11s. There's the 11s. Protecting it still. I'll rotate some of these accounts. Yeah, definitely need a break from these markets. I think, like, I don't mind the counter trend up. Like, it makes sense. Go up, set the lower high. What I do mind is the way it's leaving so much resting liquidity up there once it gets there. It's gross, man. It goes against like the model features. Like, I can't trade an A plus setup if we leave resting liquidity up there, because it means it's leaving it if they want to go back for it later. And that's the hardest thing right now. $9.11 key here. You got like a little double bottom down here, right here, and the VWAP off the New York Open. You need to see a lower high set, really. I don't like this being left here as well. So you need to see a lower high set and one of these or that rotation. The problem is all of this being left here. That is very, very, very dangerous. How long we got to a new H1? 3 minutes. Well, that will be key actually into this new H1. You just want to see pops fail. It's as simple as that. Nice. Can we break down through 11s now and get some follow through for the day? Nice. Okay. How much follow through can we get now? Nines, watching 900s here. They start reabsorbing that same level we broke down from. Want to be careful. What's that old H1 close? 883s. Would still like to prefer to see a drive up here which fails. Then I know sellers are in control. If we get a drive up here which doesn't fail, then I know they're going to go back for those 990s. It's everything I don't want to see. Maybe Raphael was right up there, but it's not. It is not a model I want to see. But at least there was some divergence on the tape. $30 seconds to a new hourly bar here. They're going to need to protect this hourly bar's wick, basically. If you think about a bear flag, they're going to need to protect this hourly bar's wick. Currently, hourly bar's wick. You want that protected. Nice push and fail there on this opening minute of this hourly bar. You need to see them sell this off, though. This bar needs to go red. This hourly bar needs to go red. What they're trying to do here, this is key, the open close level of this hourly bar. You know, I'll get in flow zones start to move red. We are starting to move into a sell. It just depends on what this hourly bar is going to do. You are seeing spiders bid off VWAP. The divergence is very, very clear here. Biggest issue for me is those H1 highs. Needs to start selling versus 50s. If they don't sell versus 50s, we're going to go back for those H1 highs. If they don't sell versus 50s, we're going to go back for those H1 highs, which is the 990, which takes you up to that 21K. That's the issue you have with that resting liquidity up there. SPY finding a bid on VWAP. ES rejecting in front of VWAP right now. Sensitive areas. VIX did not. It found a bid, but it did not produce a change in trend on the VIX. It's still just drifting lower until it proves otherwise on the VIX, which will increase buy pressure upside. Can we get a breakdown here in continuation? Come on, market. Let's just do something, please. Please, today, can we have some follow through, please? Right, watching this for a breakdown here. Need this hourly candle, remember, to go red. Watching the transition of the hourly candle. Need it to protect the highs, not get through 50. We get through 950. It will, I think, take out 990s and 100s. It's amazing. I get annoyed and I'm up good money. It's crazy. Not a lot, but 1,800 bucks. It's not the worst day known to man, but it just feels frustrating because you think it could be a good trade here. Okay, so here's the test towards the 950s. ES back to VWAP. If it starts reclaiming it, there is a high of day on the NQ, which has been left. We have divergence versus that, where the ES has taken high of day and failed, but is still holding pivots. It's still technically bullish on the ES. So I would say these levels that we're drifting into now become key. If we get through the 950s and the opening range, then we're probably just going to go straight up to 990 and take everyone out. If we fail up here in front of 50 or around 50, then maybe we get that downside move. And Apple finding a bid off VWAP. I'm going to use the bathroom here for a second, folks. Okay. Peeked through a bit, didn't it? I still think there's a chance here. There's a chance both ways, but the momentum right now is starting to shift downside. Can feel it. That last peek through is what you want to see. Pops that fail, and you'd want to see that stay heavy. What did we say? 50s came to 52. So if we start getting a bear flag breakdown here, you're going to look for a run into 880. You need a new low of day here, and then you can just hold the runners for low of day. Starting to join this now. I need a break here. So that's what we said. Pops to 50 need to fail. Lovely. Finally, we're going to get a trade. Thank God, market. Finally, you're going to give us a trade. Maybe it's going to be short-lived at this rate. Come on. I need this H1 to go red. SPY to VWAP. I need SPY to let go of VWAP. That will really help us. Need SPY to VWAP. There we go. All right, here we go. We're in. We're in it, and it's working. It's all that matters. How low can we go? Time will tell. Starting to see some heaviness come into the tape here. Buyers down at 875 right now. Remember, pro trend is down, folks. Pro trend on the day is down. That's why we're looking for failures. Starting to see sort of that head and shoulders start to move out. This is where we found bids today, so you've got to be careful into here. These are the anchors, remember, of the sells. If we fail those, we go lower. I would take some covers into here. If you took this short versus 50s, take some covers into here. It doesn't seem like a lot, but you've already made 50 points. Vic's trying to find a bid as well. Starting to play out a little bit. My drawing's out a bit here. So SPY trying to reclaim its view up here. Just be cautious. Most of the mags dangling around like fairly sensitive areas. Got in at 950, locked it in at 910. Nice work, Gus. Yeah, it's a good move. 40 points, like, pays the bills, doesn't it? 40 points is not bad. Like we always talk about, there's streamers out there who will teach you how to get 5-10 points. 40 points is not bad. All right, we're trying to find a bid right now of this old area here. You can see the anchored VWAPs. These are the sell VWAPs, all right? Maybe this one is off the low, actually. Is this off the low? I just want to check. Yeah, okay, so this one should be green. Left that out. These are the key points for the day. So this average price of sellers off the highs and average price of buyers off the lows. So sensitive areas, and this is your New York VWAP. These are flow zones. All right, so for trend continuation, you will need this to start failing. If it doesn't fail, you will need to respect it that buyers are coming in, absorbing the tape, and looking for a run to 990. Big buyer now at 875. All right, 120 odd lot. You are seeing SPY with a wick through VWAP and reclaim it and drive aggressively upside right now. Apple's at its VWAP. Market is still all red. We have had a 100-point rotation off the high of day. I would say that. Do I think we can bleed more? Yeah. Are we going to do it? I don't know. It's why it's important to lock some in. Yes, coming back towards its VWAP. Straight through it. Little squeeze here by the looks of it. 802s. Again, the danger right now is that we've got resting liquidity up at 990 with that big seller at 21,000. It's the big danger about looking for the shorts at the moment. It didn't become A+ because we left so much liquidity, but so far it's still holding. It still looks good. You can see those anchors held. New York buyers are in control right now. Just remember that. as in just buyers out of the New York session. They're still in control. All the time we're above the blue line, they are technically in control. Come on, I want more downside today. Come on, market. Give us a follow-through day. You can see the difference overnight. I know those of you who were there yesterday, I don't want to keep going over old ground. But you look at QQQ, we printed an inside bar yesterday. Look what we did today. We went from inside to outside. Look at the difference in the move that we got this morning. What we don't want to do is reclaim previous day levels. If we reclaim previous day levels, it is not fun to look for continuation when you're reclaiming previous day levels. We want to stay outside. I see them break back below here. If they can't do it, it's going to be a problem. You want to take out that buyer's wick at 16s for a move back down to 895s. Nice rejection on ES of VWAP. Need some follow through here. It's a trappy area if they're going to hold it. Come on, just give some follow through. There we go. Okay, can you let this go now, market? Thank you. Right, looking for a new low down here if possible. Beautiful. Come on, keep breaking down now. It's really nice now, folks. This is feeling a bit better. Don't want them to protect this low, though. We're looking for a break of 895. Make sure all these bulls get absolutely wrecked. Nice. Watching this anchored VWAP into where we are now. Don't want them to hold this. We want these buyers to become sellers for a deeper wash. But this is the average price of people in the market right now. We want these lot to become sellers. You can take a partial here. If you haven't taken a partial yet, pay yourself. Pay yourself some money. Look left. Look where we're coming into. Think about the opening range. Think about where buyers stepped up this morning. It's fine to pay yourself some money here. If they hold this, this pivot is possible. But I would like this kind of move here for the rest of the day. That would be a continuation trade for me. That would be a continuation trade of an outside day. There's previous day low. Now we're outside. There is, I don't know what percentage that is, but it's probably a 61. And we're looking for a continuation. So partial, continuation. That would be dreamboat scenario. When would I prefer these trades to happen? Wednesdays. Wednesday and Thursday. Friday's a bit tricky. Wednesday and Thursday, these are the best days for these trades, which is why I was so desperate for it to happen yesterday and it never came. Still looks good here, folks. Still got that buy at 875, 100 lot 875, and some buying showing up at 850 now. We look good. Watch these 900s, psychological number, big levels, anchored VWAPs, like lots of reasons here. We've talked about it over and over again. If you do not get the breakdown here, you need to be careful. Nice. Come on. Let them go. Let them go. Give us our flush moment. We've waited patiently all day for this. Please make sure you're paying yourself some, folks. But I think we're going to get a bigger move here, and it's going to be nasty when it comes. Bang! Let's go. Let's go. Get under. Keep going. I want their pain point. I want these bulls crying to their mummies tonight, please. Oh, I keep getting my iPad. My stream stops on my iPad. I can't see what's going on. Finally, a little bit of follow through for us. Not a lot, but a decent amount. Hey, Mitch, long time, man. Hope you're good. Hope you're good, buddy. All right, so bidding off the anchors. Not that I'm bidding, but they are bidding off the anchors. You should have paid yourself on the way down there, team. Hopefully lots of you made some money with me on that move. We had to wait. We had to wait for the backside of the move. Raphael was right. I have to admit it, he was right. I was really thinking we'd sweep that, but we got divergence versus ES. There's the pool. And there is the trade. All right, that's why I said 50s. I know I left the desk, but I gave it to you. 50s, if we fail 50s, we go lower. And that was it. That's where buyers are stuck in this session currently. All right, and now we can use this liquidity if we get a continuation to get down here. Any reclaim of 50s, your short thesis is out the window because then they create this liquidity here to come and raid. All right, so you will need 50s to stay heavy. That's your over under in the New York session right now. SPY, by the way, is constantly bidding off its VWAP right now. All right, so cash players, zero DTE players making our lives harder. They're bidding off this right now, looking for that rotation. Again, for them, this is where buyers are stuck. All right, so as long as SPY fails that, the moment we get under here, I think you get a bigger collapse in the market. If it's a big if they let it happen, they don't have to do it today. So holding those anchors. I'm not in this anymore, folks. I had my runners looking for deeper. I paid myself. What are we up now? Up a little bit more than before. Still not a giant day like I would have liked to have seen. How many accounts have I traded this morning? Not that many. A few of them waiting confirmation. Apex been really quick this week. Been very impressed. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27,000, 27,000, that'd be nice. 2,700, just rotating the accounts. John up 1,350, nice. Andrew H, green on the day, yeah, good work, team. Good work. M15 is possibly building out that sort of head and shoulder look to move lower. It's just becoming harder and harder. Trade location is going to get harder and harder here. Would have preferred this H1 to collapse a bit. When we look at this, right, we were looking for this move up here, fine. We want this now to be protected and a collapse. So if they start getting up here, it's going to get a bit jumpy and a bit dangerous. If shorts have started chasing the market here instead of taking the location here, because remember, we look, here's your expanding line, breakdown, pullback, we want shorts somewhere in here. Here's the wick that we need to protect for a retest of the low. If we keep reclaiming this, this causes a new squeeze up. You might not get a good trade, and if this doesn't work, you might not get a good trade now until the new H4 bar, because we think about this in a 4 hour, what's happening right now is a drive up, we might need to wait for them to set. If they're going to expand this even higher, we might need to wait for it to set for the lower move. And I'm not going to trade that on a Friday. Not on a Friday. So they held this swing. New York open swing here. That's your main trend. They're protecting this. This is why we take a partial. They want to go high right now, they can. This is where they're stuck. This is the decision point, 50s. Start reclaiming that, I think a squeeze is on. Where's the squeeze on to? Where the liquidity is. They left these for a reason. Where's the big seller? Right here, 21K. That's why I'm saying this is not an A+ short because we left these guys here. If we'd done this, much better trade. There's much less reason to come upside at that point. But seeing that player on the book at 21K, a bit of a clue. Sloth, up 2,000, nice work. Nice work. I might call it there. I'll sit with you, but I don't know if I'll take another trade. It's not a bad day. It's not a great day, but we've locked in again some good money. And I can go for some more payouts probably in the next week or two. Probably next week. I think I took 9. How many payouts did I take? Paid myself nicely this month. Not a huge month, but not bad. Just under 20K. All on Apex. It's just my Apex ones. But yeah, I see lots of chat last night between, and I don't disagree with them, Rips and Kane saying that all these traders charging monthly fees and don't take money out of the markets. It is a worry. It is a worry. Who's teaching them? Biggest problem right now is the VIX. Look at that drip back down from 25s into previous day high here. This is the level you'd want it to hold. If VIX can't hold previous day high, it's going to go PDC and close the gap. At that point, we're going to go PDL and start ripping some faces here. Luke, oh, nice, man. Just take it slow. Don't think about, right? Do not think about passing it. I know that's easier said than done. Do not think about passing that account. Okay, just trade the setups. If it takes you another 30 days, it takes you another 30 days. If you do it in the next trade, you do it in the next trade. But just trade the setups. The moment you start thinking about passing that account, you're going to start watching your P&L and you're going to start forcing trades and you're going to get further and further away from passing it. So just trade the process. You've got this far by trading the process. Just stick with that. Really important. Same when you go for payouts. The amount of times I've got close to a payout and I'm like, oh, I just squeeze, a couple more bucks out of this now. And then you give a shit ton back and you're like, fuck, why did I do that? Right? Don't do that. Just trade the setups. Thanks, Ash. You too. No, Christy, and I won't. Okay, and I won't. I've been offered something by them. A lot of my people I talk to are influencers that trade with them. They have not. I'll give you the reasons I won't, and I'm not saying that I think they're bad. Here are some reasons. First of all, they've not been around long enough. I know they've been in the Forex space, but they've not been in the future space long enough. Second of all, they're not approved by Trader8 and NinjaTrader. That is a massive red flag for me. If you're not approved, I know they've got Project X. I don't care about Project X. If you're not approved by a legitimate broker, which would be NinjaTrader, a bit of a worry. Third thing, they've changed everything 3 times in 3 weeks now. They keep changing the rules. Now, it's fine to change rules, but why are they changing rules? They've run out of cash flow. All right, people were passing too easy. People were getting money out of them too easy. They made it too easy to pull money out of the markets when they first launched, and people are pulling money out of them, and now they've probably got a cash flow issue there. Third reason, why, in my mind, why do I need someone else? I've got all these accounts with Apex, which I'm taking money out of realistically every 10 to 14 days. I can go back to my TraderFi accounts and I'm waiting for the market to get into like a really nice pro trend to trade my TraderFi accounts, because I want to trade those TraderFi accounts where I put some big size on and just let it work. And there's other firms like TPT can pull money out of daily, all these other ones. So for me, no reason to. I don't think they offer anything better than anyone else. I think the best product on the market by far is TraderFi. It's not even close. It's TraderFi. It's not close. The back end's better, the support system's better, the features that are coming better, the products they offer are better, the partners that they work with are better. And I don't mean partners like me, I mean like they work with all the big brokers, all the big platforms. It's not even close. The only advantage of Top 1 Futures is that they were cheaper, and they're getting more expensive and harder to get money out of. If you look at the drawdown and the amount of money you will now need to make to get money out of them, as of last night, I think it is, it's getting worse and worse and worse. That has got to be a worry. When's the last time we heard something like that? We all know when. It's Mr. Scott, whatever his name is, who should be in jail right now. All good, Christy. Yeah, no problem at all. No problem at all. Yeah, like I said, if they're around in 6 months, I'll think about it. But the worst thing to do is spend your money on someone where it's hard to get your money back. Remember, we're looking for return of investments. Average price for Apex, let's say you get a 50k account at the 80% sell, $30 if you pass it first time. You pay 130 for lifetime fee. Okay, you're 160 all in. You pull that money out very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. You go with TraderFi, same thing. Very, very cheap. Top 1, the main thing they're pushing is straight to funding. Very hard to get your money out of that. Let's have a look at the rule changes. I'll try and bring it up. Where is it? No, it's not Top 1 Trader, is it? That's their other one. What's their website? I mean, even that's a worry. That I'm Googling it and it's not coming up. Okay, here we go, top1futures.com. Let's have a little look here. All right, instant sim. $399, not too expensive. Max, trailing max drawdown 4.5, not bad. Minimum days to pay out 10 or any time. 20%. Where are the hidden rules? Because what matters is how much money you need to make now until you get paid, which is what they've changed. Can't even see it there. Let me see if someone's got it on their Twitter, because I know this was big news this week. Maybe you guys already know it and you can tell me. Still basing out here, building liquidity. Okay, what's changing? Here we go. Profit split on the first 20K moves from 100% to 90%. Okay, so they take more of your money back. Max loss limit on the elite and instant sim funded accounts for 100K moves to 3,000. So you've lost max loss limit. From the 150K moves to 4,500. I'm pretty sure on Tradeify, let me have a look. I'm pretty sure that's 6,000. It is. So they've nicked 1,500 max loss off you, which basically means what you're paying for is less when you think about it, because all that really matters is what your loss limit is. That's actually what you're paying for. So that's another thing. So they've taken more of your money out, giving you less like maneuverability. Profit targets have also been increased. This was the big thing. So your profit targets now to get money out, right? On the first profit target, you got to make 6%. And then on the second 5%, on the third 4%. Now on Tradeify, it's way less. You need to make less money each time, a lot less money. That's the big difference. That's where they're pinching people without them seeing. So yeah, no good for me. And also anyone changing their minds that many times. I haven't. No. MMF. Who's that? Who is MMF? I'd have thought you were going to say my funded futures. Elite Trader funding, 50K promo, $16.50 with an add-on of 1-day pass for $19.99. I mean, it sounds good, but they don't have the best rep. My funded futures. Lots of people like them. I don't like the way the CEO carries himself. Personal opinion. But again, like, they're good. They're one of the respectable firms. They will pay you out, my funded futures. Nice, Tyson. Yeah, you can see they built that liquidity here. So the pro trend failing right now, building liquidity here. These are the guys that they want to take out. Like I said, it's not an A+ short here because we didn't take these out before failing. That's the problem. And now we're going to come back for it by the looks of it. I'm probably done anyway. How long we got? Half an hour till lunch. Nice work today and nice work this week, Tyson. Thanks for that message yesterday. Appreciate the DM. You would think they're just going to pump this up now and take all the liquidity. Probably the most likely thing. ES breaking out high day here. Initial balance high here on the ES. Here we go. Is the push. So it's not what you want to see on the H1 really, but 21K, they're still there. Is a goal to make 10% of portfolio achievable or unrealistic? Obviously, I have a small portfolio. You mean 10% a year? Yeah, it's definitely achievable. You do 11% a year on average in the QQQ alone. So it's definitely achievable long term. You think they're just going to come for those stops and swipe right now? I would think that break of IB high is coming sooner rather than later, and you've got that seller at 21k we talked about. So they came back for it. This is why it was not an A plus short. They're so nasty at the moment, leaving that liquidity. But yeah, seller here, 21,000, 21,012. So you think you would come and fill him. Remember, lots of stops here. This is what I was talking about earlier. All these stops here, they're probably going to get run over right now. And then drive up into here. And then how we act here for the rest of the day will become very, very, very important. We've built lots of liquidity now. Trading view really annoys me. Drive, drive, maybe drive. Do we go backside here for this? And this can be Monday or Tuesday next week. It does not have to be today. All right, we're trending up right now today. We're trying to recover everything. Nothing's happened, nothing to see here. Not like we just talked about shaking the whole world up with tariffs on a whole continent in the EU. It's not like that's just happened. There you go. There's them all getting wrecked, so they came back for them like we talked about. They build those stops in on purpose. All right, they built and manufactured it on purpose. ES not too far about from previous day low. Can't remember who's saying they were looking for a short as we get to previous day low on the ES. You're very, very close to it now. Make sure you're going to wait for the shift, right? Like we had to wait for the backside here to look for the sell. You're going to have to wait for something similar. So something like this. It might not come. Remember, they can keep doing this. They've got shorts trapped right now. Definitely trapped right now. Your job's to make money. Don't get married to your bias. JJ. I mean, to be fair, the market shakes so many things off all the time. Recession? What recession? What recession? What inflation? What market crisis? What are you talking about? All the time, right? All the time you see it. So there's the stop hunt. Again, I think I'm done for the day. Yeah, took that. I was just thinking of you, Raphael. Yeah, it took it. We were both right. It's funny how the market can do that. We left it when you said, but we took it afterwards. Came back for it. The ES into its IB high. Does it hold the IB high? We're just back into an RBS level here in the market. If we find a bid here, we probably go previous day low. If we don't find a bid here, we probably start washing. Was this the final swipe it needed? I'm probably not going to touch it now. I've made my money for the day and need to just like back off and be okay with it. Remember, our job's to make money, and that's it. It's not to be right. It's not to have an ego. It's not to be correct. It's just to make money and get off the screens. I was fixed looking for that short today. It gave very limited opportunity for it, but it gave enough for me to make my money when it was ready. It gave what? 50, 80 odd points. It's not too bad. It's not great, but it's something. All right, ES still holding initial balance high right now. Nice, Raphael. Very good. Very, very good, my friend. That's a lot of money. Great work. Right, ES holding its initial balance high. So it has the chance to expand if it's going to hold the IB high on the ES. That's what it's trying to do. It is what it's trying to do. Market still all red. I'll give you a readout before we sign off. Tesla 1.13% down, Nvidia 1.38% down, Meta 1.12% down, Google 0.78% down, Amazon 0.75% down. So 0.75%, Microsoft 0.75%, Apple 2.31% down on the day. What is the market gonna do? Is it gonna let go and do a boop? I don't know. But so far it's holding on. We did clear everything out. Yeah, still holding that initial balance. What a day. It's crazy. The amount of times I say there's a long setting up here, but I'm going to wait for the short. The amount of times it never gives it. I've got to probably do a bit of thinking about that in this market. They don't want to start letting go. Why miss this move here when I know it's coming? Waiting for this. Should probably take both. I always get looking for the pro trend because it's always the easier trade. But recently, it has not been an easy trade. The squeeze trade's been very easy. I will do an education video for Monday, Sunday or Monday, as I'm not going to be here. Market's closed. I'm going to take a day off, but I'll do some education. Give me a chance to film stuff for the website. Hopefully finally get that live. Been forever. Market's still holding its IB on the ES I'm looking at. SPY and ES still above the IB. I don't know. I was thinking about that, Richard. I was thinking about doing, the key levels in. I hate to say it. Inside to outside, outside to inside. Doing anything for the weekend? I am. I'm seeing friends tomorrow who are some of my best friends who are moving from the valley down a bit closer to me to Marina Del Rey, or they're house hunting tomorrow. So I'm going to go for lunch with them. Sunday, I'm seeing someone who watches for the stream. He's asked to meet for a coffee, so I'm going to meet him. I think he's a young trader, I think in his teens. So I know his aunt. So I'm going to meet him for a coffee. Nothing else planned. Nice, Richard. It's the European rugby final this weekend. Pretty sure I'll be watching that as well. See if Saints can get the job done. Be nice for them to finish a good year. I think they've had a great team. What are you all doing? More importantly, what's everyone else doing? Answer that in a second. I'm going to get a coffee and come back. We can have a chat. It's nice to just relax now on a Friday. I'm back. Indy 500. Nice. Yard work. That doesn't sound fun, Ken. Raphael, long weekend going to the beach with the family. Do you know what? I'm going to move the chat over here and then you can see me and I can read it. Long weekend going to the beach with the family for 3 days. Come back to Orlando Monday night. Taking my boat with us. Hey, nice. What kind of boat do you have? Is it like a speedboat or like a fishing kind of thing? JJ, you are making me a very jealous man right now. That sounds magnificent. Getting aperitivo on the beach in Italy. What's your tipple when you get an aperitivo? What do you like to have a drink of? I know what I'd have. It's got to be an Aperol Spritz, isn't it? A fast boat. I like that answer. A fast boat. What type of boat? Fast. What type of car do you drive? Fast. I could go on, but I'll get cancelled. I'll be quiet. Market's still building. Oh man, I would have really liked some follow through today. I would have really liked that. It would have made it nice and easy for us if it gave us a follow through day. I'm gonna get rid of this. Don't need this now. This one can go. Don't always get what we want though, do we, eh? 911 Turbo, very nice. Yeah, I've been looking at new cars, but I'm not going to get a car that's nice all the time I live here. I want to wait till I move. If we ever move. I've been saying that for 5 and a bit years now. Yeah, I'm also considering selling up in London. So I just think the return on investment is absolutely woeful right now. And all my money is stuck. We own a 3-bedroom property, 3-bed, 2-bath in London. I've been renting it out and it is just sat there, not making enough money, not even making me 5% yield, which means I'll be better off just sticking it in a bank account right now. Do I swing trade? Yes, I do. Well, I mean, invest. So I'm swinging for 3, 6, 1 year and plus. Yeah, Lee, she is. She works here. That's why we moved here. Exactly. Right in her coattails. No kids. No kids for me. Maybe one day, not on the horizon right now. She is a yoga and meditation teacher. She's one of the best there is. Right at the top of her game. And a music producer as well. She has to produce music to give me a run for my money. I actually got feedback on my new single today, which is out in a few weeks. It was an interesting read to see who's playing it. All right, starting to see a bit of sell pressure here into the new hour. Back to VWAP we go. ES still holding, can still build a bull flag here on ES. It's interesting. It's interesting what they're going to do here. This is 3 hours of driven up and finding failures at the tops. You just wonder, don't you? You just wonder what they do into this new hourly bar. And building liquidity to go higher, but the look on the last 3 hours is not nice. But they've built this, but they've run this. They can build this to go here, but if they start getting stuck here, based on the hourly bars, it could get a little bit prickly. I do, yeah. I have actually done a course in meditation and breath work. I did it about 2 years ago, as in an instructor's course. My own personal gain. I would say breath work probably changed my life. There was a point a couple of years ago which mentally I was not in a good place, and that probably got me out of a jam. So here we go. Oh, it's so tempting to absolutely slam this right now. Just watching the hourly bars, man. This is definitely a bear flag counter trend into, I mean, really it can get all the way up here if it wants, but you can see drive up, fail, drive up, fail, drive up, fail. The moment they start rotating this and get enough buyers caught, we go deeper. The question is, can they get all the way up into here? You start, like, you can see at the end of the hours, and the reason I know it's at the end is because this happens and we close down here. This happens and we close down here. We're getting sell pressure on the transitions. ES has let go of initial balance now. What's tricky is what they've done with the lower time frame. It is tricky how they've built this lower time frame out. Very tricky. In fact, let's do that as a one of these jobs for you. Let's do another one from here. Just want to see where it goes. There or thereabouts. Very tricky. Came in handy yesterday. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a happy bunny yesterday. It was for numerous reasons. I'm also in a lot of pain every day at the moment with my spine and my back, which is probably not helping my patients in general. And you combine that with, 7 days of trading sideways, of me being tired, and then me feeling like I've got, trying to explain myself 10 times over, and then people attacking me on Twitter and social, and then you just get to the point where you've just had enough. And that's probably what happened yesterday. I'm not perfect. Those in Discord will know I say it time and time again. I'm quite happy to self-reflect. I'm quite happy to put my hands up when I do stuff wrong. I do not have a problem saying sorry. I'm not perfect at all. Yesterday you did not see the best version of myself. I'm not afraid to admit that. It happens. I'm only human. But I would like to think I carry myself a little bit better than some of the other streamers, let's say, who will just shout abuse at people. No point did I get like that. I was just went quiet, tried to focus on my trading. Remember, my job is also to make money for me. It's the thing a lot of people forget. Like, I love helping you guys, but my job is to make money. It is my job to make money from the markets. So when I get distracted or frustrated and I can't do that, it's tough. I'm also not going to get it right every day. And like any mentor, anyone who says that they know what the market's going to do every day, they're just full of shit. All right. All we can do is come up with a plan. Oh, like I can show you my statements, Jake. Like nothing. Like nothing. Here, I'll try and find it. I haven't taken a payout on my YouTube since I started it, and I can show you. This is how little. So I started YouTube in September last year. Okay, so my earnings this month are $228.39, and my total earnings forever and ever and ever are 1,290. All right, so you can see, maybe you can see that. All right, so if anyone thinks I'm here for that, my friends, I don't know what that pays for. In Los Angeles, nothing. All right, so I'm not here for that. It doesn't make nothing off this. Not like some of these other guys. I mean, kudos to them, I would say. Like guys like PW are making a fortune, an absolute fortune. But he's been at it 8 years, and you got to give the guy credit. And he knows his game, he knows his personality. He's making big money. He's big and bold in personality. He knows exactly what he is and his brand is. I respect it. I respect it. I respect the hustle, the hard work that went in. I also know PW's story. A lot of people jump in late. I know his story. I know the people he's lost. I know how he lost them. I know about him getting thrown in jail a few years ago over absolutely nothing and people accusing him. He has not had an easy ride. So kudos to him. Anyone that can grind it out and keep going, whether you like his personality or you like his trading style or not, is totally different. But his work ethic to get up every day and stream every single day and make the amount of content he's made for 8 years is actually incredible. Doing YouTube is tough. It's a long, hard grind. Being live in front of people means you're exposing your own vulnerabilities. All right, you have to be willing to be wrong live. That's hard. That's hard. For me, I find it really hard because I want to protect you all. I don't want you taking bad trades. That's when I get frustrated, I think, is when the market's chopping and chopping and chopping and people are looking to execute. And I'm like, this is how you lose. Oh, thanks, Tim V. Appreciate that. Yeah, exactly, Raphael. I mean, I think that's probably what I'm most proud of. We're starting to see some failures in the market here, folks. ES is coming back down to its VWAP here. This is what I'm talking about. This H1 close in 30 seconds. Look at the pressure on the H1 again. Look where we're coming to on the channel again. I wonder if they saved it. Like, I don't know, but I'm wondering if they save this, and what they do on the new 4-hour bar, I think, will be important. You should contact a prop firm and make a deal to do giveaways to your chat. I actually have. I've actually reached out to Brett this week again and not heard back. I know we're going to get a deal. But, I've checked out. I want to be careful here. I have gone and done some research on some of the other, let's call them newer, who probably have bigger followings than me, pro traders doing giveaways. I mean, be careful. That you're not getting anything from being there other than bad habits, them wanting to be like PW, and you maybe getting a 1 in 500 chance of getting a free account. Does that make sense? I think I'm also old. I'm old. I'm old in my approach. Like Yulamar says it to me. People say it to me all the time. You need to do more stuff on socials. I know I do, but I hate social media. I hate everything about social media. I was having this conversation with my wife last night. I'm going to sit here with you through lunch and we can have a chat. Let's talk some philosophy stuff. It doesn't have to all be trading. I was having a chat with my wife about this stuff last night, and I was saying, when is mankind going to wake up and learn? because I'm waiting for that moment of enlightenment and it is not happening. I think we are becoming worse and worse and worse and worse as human beings. We're the most narcissistic and ego driven we've ever been. Everything is about money and consumption and what I have and how I can flex it. And we fake it. Now it is about the dopamine hit of like how many people have liked your photo. You know, how many kids are going to school and they've got like 100 followers or 20 followers and they're worried that they don't get enough likes of their photo? It's crazy. But it's the same with adults. I see peers and friends when I'm out that have to take a photo of everything. You're not present. You're not present. You're not living life. And then you want to preach about, oh, meditation this and like living life to the full. You're not living life to the fullest. You're stuck in your fucking phone. And that's the pressure that society has caused. And that is the pressure that, you know, we are being driven on us. Social norm, right? Those who know me know I studied psychology. Social norm happens when societies get trapped and think that they have to do something because that's normality. We're now at an occasion where the social norm is everything needs to be put on like Instagram or TikTok and everyone thinks they're an expert in something. The truth is 99% of people have zero skills and are now not an expert in anything. That's where we are. That's what we've evolved to. We've evolved from being a skill-based society where you've got people who learn different skills and will share those skills and share information and share peer-reviewed information. Like I hope I'm doing here. I'm trying to share a skill for you all to learn from. And I enjoy doing it. Not only performing the skill, I enjoy working with you all. I enjoy seeing other people prosper. That's great. I get way more satisfaction when I'm in Discord and people posting me what they've made and taking money out of the market. Those are my best moments. That's what makes me happy. What does not make me happy is some dickhead, let's just say it what it is, who feels the need to take a photo of a watch that they don't own and pretend, or a car that they don't own and pretend, to fit into society. And that is where we're at. And that's not just in trading. That is just where we're at. I was talking to my wife about this last night. We're going to Ibiza in a couple of weeks. It will be my first time to Ibiza without playing in like 20 years. I'm going to go there as a punter. I can't remember. The last time I was there was 2018 and I was headlining Privilege and Ushuaia that year. I'm going back as a punter. I already know we're going to Black Coffee to see, we're going to Hyde to see Black Coffee. I already know there's going to be, look at the sell on here on the new hour. I'm going to pick this up in a second. Initial balance just rejected on ES, comes straight back towards VWAP. Are they going to start the selling? Is there news? One sec, we're going to get straight back to this. Is there news? Have they just finished? And is this the first H1 that's going to go red? This is what I was talking about on the H1 bars. Have they just waited all this time? Not seeing anything. So it's just the H1 bars, the start of the H1 bar into a sell. Do they start selling pops now for a move to low of day? I think that's my question. Oh, it's so tempting. There's the backside of the move. All right, there's the clear out. This, while I was talking, becomes A plus because we've got rid of the stops. Can you see the difference between this and this while I'm teaching this? The stops have gone. This is now backside of this part of the move. And if we fail here, it's backside and we can get a return back down here. If they protect this, we go back up. All right, let's get back to philosophy. I shouldn't be looking at this during lunch anyway, but it just made me wonder right into the channel that we've been in. And just so you can see why I'm talking about this on that H1, can you see what I'm talking about? Wick, wick, wick. If we get a first red bar, we're looking for a wick like this and a bar to print like this. All right, so that's why I'm always looking at the H1. Can they protect these wicks and give a big kill bar back towards here? That's what I was looking for today, but anyway, just so we explain it. Okay, so what am I what am I talking about with us becoming sheep? I'm going to know that I'm going to go and see Black Coffee at High. There'd be 5,000 people on there. He'd be playing some nice records, and everyone's going to be like this. What are you doing? What are you doing? Why do you need to film it? What are you getting out of filming that moment? You're not dancing. You're not talking to your friends. You're not even enjoying the music. You want a post to be like, I was here. Well, in England, back in the day, you used to go to a park bench or like carve into some wood. I was here, Dave. You were a right dickhead if you used to do that back in the day. So what's the difference now? Nothing. If you want the picture or that moment, go and take it off the official, cameraman that's in there. It's crazy. And that's where I think we're at as society. I think it's sad, man. I worry. And we're fed so much garbage in the news. It's not like I believe in all conspiracy theories. Don't get me wrong. I don't. I love a conspiracy theory. I love hearing what people have got to say. I love doing research. At the moment, I'm listening to the Aaron Rodgers and Joe Rogan podcast, which is fascinating because Aaron is right up there as like way out there in anti-establishment. And I watched the documentary or film on him and I thought it was good. But it's interesting, man. Like, I think we also live in a time where if you have opposing views, you're cancelled. Like if you were, not even if you were an anti-vaxxer, if you were someone who used their own mind and went, hey, I don't want this vaccine yet because I don't think there's been enough testing on it. Perfectly reasonable statement. You were then shouted at and cancelled. Crazy. I had the same at Surveyor Bali when I played there. Only influencers in that club, 5,000 people. I played there before it was Surveyor, when it was Hakkasan. Great club. Sick club. I know. Do you live out there, Peter? If you ever want to go there, I know the team there very well. Jay Hamilton from Ireland is I think he's like VIP manager there. And it's actually owned now by the team that always managed Ushuaia and Ibiza since it changed to Surveyor. Great club. VIP table for 80 grand. Yeah, sounds about right. I'll see if I can find a photo of when I was there. It was so amazing. The sushi there is great. Good times, man. Good times. I'd fond memories of those years. What a wick. What is going on? This market's going mental. It's going mental. Do I have it on my personal? Maybe I've got it here somewhere. See if I can find it. Was it before I got married? It might have been. Can't have been that far back. Maybe on the other page. Cook speaking, yeah, maybe. Sean Ryan, I don't. As in his podcast, I've listened to like one of them. He's not on my list. Is it good? Is it worth listening to? Yeah, probably Cook speaking. You're probably right. I want to find this photo. I remember it's so much fun. Anything else, team? Impossible to get to Surveyor by car. Really? There used to be what was the guy's name? He looked after the VIP. He was a really famous English guy from Brighton who was a skateboarder who then became friends with all the models back in the day. I think he used to go to Studio 54. And he's like looks after the VIP there, but he also runs a yoga retreat. Mark, skateboard Mark or something. He's got to be like mid-60s, 70s. Super cool guy. I don't know if you live there, Peter. Maybe you know him, or were you just there on holiday, or do you live out there? Here we go. That's it. When it was at Omnia, I remember that. Very cool. That's the back deck, isn't it? Good times, man. It was a long time ago, but it was good times. So long ago I had short hair. Zombie show, yeah. You remember that guy? Yeah. What is it? Is Mark something, isn't it? I remember his name, Mark something. I think he's I think there's a documentary on him because I think he was an ex-heroin addict. So I think he got into the club scene in like the 70s and 80s in New York. He was a famous skateboarder when skateboarding was like starting to break through, and became friends with like Naomi Campbell and Kate Moss and all these lot. And then I think he got hooked on heroin and he left and went to Bali for like a I don't know what you call it, like a retreat, rehab. There you go. My wife's like rehab, a rehab, and then he stayed there. Yeah, I mean, I think we were looking at the price of some of the clubs in Ibiza now. I think it's like 200 euros for most of the big club entries. Right, you're seeing some sell pressure here. If you get backside of the move, there is a chance for a rotation back down to that New York low. All right, just remember you're in lunch. I'm not taking any of these, but I'm just saying what I'm seeing. Some guy from the Russian mafia. Oh yeah, I remember that because after the Russia-Ukraine stuff, you got all the oligarchs moving there. They banned them from buying property now, haven't they? Glenn, yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. You like if you're looking for backside, you're gonna need the H1 to protect those wicks. Okay, so just think about for the rest of the day. All right, this is where you had that big fail from. This whole bar, we've repriced 50% of that H1 bar. All right, so if you're going to see backside of the move, you want this wick protected and you want one of these bars coming up to be a kill bar. All right, and that will be your bear flag playing out in the H1. And then next week, we can look for continuation, or we can use this as a trigger point for a squeeze. Yeah, scary stuff. Take care, Chentry. The scariest thing like that I had was I was playing in the jungle in Medellin in like 2015, and we had to have like armored cars take us in, and it was literally like tanks. It was nuts, and it's pitch black. And our agent was like, "You're only to go from your hotel. You get in the car, you do the show, you get in the car, you go home." We were like, "Yeah." And I remember we flew from London Heathrow to Miami. We stopped in Miami, and Border Patrol were like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, Colombia." He's like, "What are you going there for?" And I had to show him my like O1 visa, and I was like, "Oh, DJ going for work." And he was like, "You know what they say in the Marines? Head on swivel." I was like, yeah, whatever, man. And we got there. I was like, holy shit. So first thing we did, leave the hotel and go to a local bar. Get amongst it. I'm here to live, not to be scared. I want to get amongst it. All right, again, you're seeing sell pressure versus VWAP here. SPY and ES at VWAP. SPY still got a little way to go down to it. Again, you're in lunch hours, but there is your channel. There is a backside move here if they want to let it go. Your best location for this, though, was the break of this or this pop here, which was the retest of this level here. Very much like the 150 test here. So can you see it? We go sideways, we break down. Where a buyer stuck, that's your sell point. We clear out, we go sideways, we break down. Where a buyer stuck, that's your sell point. All right, now if buyers get stuck here, break of here might cause liquidation down to this level and this level, then a return back in. That's your sell point. When we reclaim those levels, they become buy points. So once we reclaimed, there's your sell point. We reclaimed, there's your buy point, right? So this is support becomes resistance here, and then that resistance becomes support. Very, very simple. Yeah, I did. It was a good show, actually. It was a massive show. I played with Le Youth and who was that tropical house DJ from France? He was really big. Had his own label on Armada. French guy, curly hair. Maybe you guys know him. He had some big records back in the day. Peter, maybe you know him if you're a DJ. He's like an EDM, but he's a tropical house. What was his name? Can't think of it. And then also Shaggy. Shaggy got so annoyed because they kept getting a power cut and his song kept getting cut short. He went mental. What was his name? I have to look this up. What was his name? It was a different lifetime, man. I'm telling you. Wasn't Kincaid. Come on, guys. You must know. You know more about music than me. Made Tropical House. He's French, curly hair. Was voted in the top 100 DJs in the world. He had his label was called The Bearded Man on Armada. I remember The Bearded Man. I think it was that. Armada. God, I'm to like really rack my head here. Lost Frequencies. There we go. Got it. It took a minute. He's actually a nice guy. Really nice guy. What a different life. I know, it's funny. I don't like only you guys really know about this who join me on stream. I don't really talk about it obviously on social, but Austin Silver wants to do a podcast. And I was like, yeah, like, because he used to be a DJ. Like, he messaged me saying he did like wedding DJs and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I played a bit. Just the British way, just play it down. Yeah, I did the odd thing every now and again. All right, no change here. We're still you're still in chop. You're still protecting this. You have swept these highs. Previous day high is right here. Nothing has changed on the main part of this. If we get backside though under here, there's probably a drive down to here. If we let go of New York Open, everything goes red. You get an end of day sell off down to here. You see how nice it is when it plays ball? Like, this is so good. Breakdown, back test, into there. Thanks very much. Piece on there. Add to the winner. Add to the winner. Bam. Be nice if we get one of those in the New York session again. I feel like it's been a good 2 or 3 weeks since we've had like an absolute monster like that together in session. Alpine, yeah. What's his name? Chris. Yeah, he does weddings as well. It's his main gig, isn't it? At the weekend, he's got his own wedding company. Man, there's good money being a wedding DJ. I don't think I could ever bring myself to do it, but you have to play music you don't like, but you're skilled. I tell you what, wedding DJs are a mix of all DJs. They're skilled people. Did I see your question about a trade you took yesterday afternoon? Sorry if I was out of room. I did not. What was your question, Ken? Did you post it in here? Odin, I've done my fair share of raving. I would not be able to handle that anymore. Yeah, me neither, mate. I went to see Moby a couple of weeks ago from 5 in the afternoon till 8 o'clock at night, and that was enough. I don't know how I'm going to last in Ibiza. I really do not. My wife can hear my wife laughing next door. At least the jet lag will be on my side. That's the only good thing. Paris Hilton DJing. I don't know. I remember when she first started trying to do it, when they started booking her at High. Each their own, whatever. It's a pure example of why I left that industry. Like all industries, it has become about your social media following, and that's it. Most people now, they want to be DJs or they want to be influencers, which are one and the same thing now. They don't care about learning the skill of DJing, how to warm up, knowing your music, knowing your venue, doing what the people in front of you want, because that's your job. Your job's to entertain and keep people happy. Now they just want to be up there, do some stupid dance, post it on Instagram and get booked more. So you've posted it here, Ken. Hang on. Shall I scroll up? How can I find it, Ken? Do you mind posting it again? Very good 3 to 5 hour interviews. Did you watch Sean Ryan? Trying to find it, Ken. I can't see it. Oh my God, there's so many comments that I missed up here. Yeah, lots of you in agreement over what I was thinking about with social media. I can't see it, Ken. Sorry, buddy. Can you just add it in here again if you want me to have a look at it? Money Vidi. Everything on here is my indicator. So everything you're seeing here, other than the red lines, all right? So everything here is flow zones. These are just VWAPs. All right, these are just VWAPs. So this is our New York VWAP anchored off the New York Open. This is our low of day VWAP. Okay, and this is the VWAP from the week. And that's our high of week VWAP. Can actually get rid of that. All right, so everything else is just support and resistance levels and my flow zones. All right, so flow zones are a mixture of EMA and SMA multiples based on fibs, and then everything else is like its separate indicator. So I can pull this up so you can see it all. Can start to look a bit messy, but there you go. All right, so when they're tight, it's hard to see, but opening range. Oh, I did print the New York Open. I couldn't see it. Well, where's the color? Couldn't see it. I have to talk to him about that. Everything else it prints, this is going to be available next week once I fix that. So what does the flow zones do? Well, it prints your Globex levels, this orange box, Globex high, Globex low. You can move all of these as well. It will print your opening range. For me, I have that sent at 15 minutes. It will print your New York Open, which I've got to fix. It will print your opening range. It will print your initial balance. It will print your previous week. I can get this in so you can see it all. Where is it? All right, and print your previous week levels. So Globex, high time frame algos, it print previous weeks, previous day, high, low, open and closes. And then your momentums and the algo lines that we use for this up here, which tells us what kind of market we're in. So right now we're building liquidity. You can see the market right now is building its liquidity. And then buy and sell signals with it. Bowden, best live DJ I've seen, DJ EZ, when he was mixing properly. Mate, the best. Not even close. I spent 2 years, I had a residency with him for 2 years in Sankey's Ibiza. Nicest guy as well. Same with Matt Jam, all those guys. Good people. Thank you, darling. Ken, here we go. Let's see what he's saying. I took the short around 3:30 yesterday when we broke opening high and came back up and hit it and broke down. Let me have a look. 3:30 yesterday afternoon. Here. 3:30. Here, you took this short. Initial balance high. It's a great short. That is a fantastic short. Because one set of stops, two set of stops, they get liquidated here. There's your pushback inside. It's a cheap short. You only have to risk here. Yeah, so you're only risking this high or current high. That's a cheap short. If you're playing initial balance, what are you looking for? Rotation to VWAP, green line. So your risk reward, if you're going to play a short reversal there, is fantastic. Because you can get short at the IB, risking high of day, and your target really should be VWAP. It's a 14R trade. That is a fantastic short. And even if you didn't take the IB, if you waited for the failure, sorry, let me just clean this up a bit. right? Even if you waited for the failure, you can wait for that sell signal. You can make it really easy. There's your trend. What do we talk about? Who's stuck and where are they stuck? All right, so buyers are bidding off here, bidding off here, bidding off here. They chase the market up. They get support. They buy it again. They fail. What's this? Failed breakout. Why is it a failed breakout? Here's the trend. We fail to make a new high. Where do buyers get stuck? When we fail to make a new high. So once we come underneath this here is resistance. Becomes, God, I can't draw. Resistance becomes support. Resistance, 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 support, support. This is where they're buying off. Once we get under there, we come back in here. That is a short. There's your sell signal. There is the break of trend. There is the confluence. Bang. At this point, what are we going to do? This trade up is a pullback, isn't it? All right, that's a pullback to short into, because now you know the buyers are stuck up here. This is where the buyers are stuck. So we want, when the buyers are stuck, they're what? Supply or resistance, however you want to call it. And there's the fade. Partial into VWAP, and then you're looking left of where's the liquidity? Here and here. Max Pain, see you later. Thanks very much. That is a fantastic short, Ken. I was not here for it. What a trade. Well done. 3.4 thousand you made off that. Very, very, very nice. Very nice trade. Cheap trade. It's kind of like this here in many ways. Here's the pain point. If you got long here this morning before the open versus this, it's a cheap long. You're against momentum, but we're into higher time frame, and there's lots of people here to come for. There's the tapering. If you don't take that, you could take this. Again, this is counter trend, but we talked about it. There's the push. Okay, money off. There's the pullback to where? To where shorts are stuck. There's the buy opportunity, new break. This is now where buyers are, average price. There's the pullback to buyers. Here we go. Clear out the liquidity. If we start to roll now, that the buyers up here get stuck. All right, so these are where we're trading between here and here. Once it makes a decision, can make a bigger move. And again, this would be a bit like the other day. If we start to roll here, this would be like the other day. If they catch it, they can go back upside. The market's simple when you just, like I always talk about in Discord, and I'm sure I talk about here a lot. It's understanding who's stuck and where they're stuck. And ideally, you want the higher time frame participants stuck because they have more size. Phenom, you took it yesterday to view up. Nice work. That is a good question. Let's have a look. I've never looked at that. I think you can maybe in the offset. Let me get in touch with the coder, Richard, and see if there's a way of doing it. And if not, we'll see if we can get an update to do it. All right, I'm almost done here. Been nice hanging out with you all. Still holding one on that spike off VWAP, but I stayed with it. Yesterday. Nice. Maurice, no time limit. Course is forever. Once you buy it, it's on demand forever. And so you can just keep going back and back and back and back to watch it. And it's actually, it's important you do that because a lot of people will tell you, you do the course, you turn up with me and trade live for a bit. You go back and do the course and you'll have some aha moments where you're like, oh, that makes sense now. Now I understand that. No worries, JJ. I don't know if I agree with that fully, Impulse. I just think recently it's been the case because the news driving the big moves have been happening not in the New York session. This week we had no news in New York session other than yesterday. It did nothing. So the news this morning was Trump, and that drove the market. It's just how it is. And then also normally, if we're in earnings season, earnings come before open and after close, so that can drive the market. But in big news weeks, 9:45, 10 o'clock, news drivers. Sometimes midday, news drivers. Very rarely. FOMC, 2:30, news drivers. Right? But most of the time, it would be 8:30, 9:45, 10 o'clock. Those are the times that you need to watch out for most of the time. Money Vidi. It's only for Ninja Trader or for TradingView. I haven't launched this one for TradingView yet. There's a free one that comes with the course. This one, it's got a couple bugs I need to fix. It'll probably only be like a couple $100 upgrade. The one for Ninja is a bit more expensive because it is fairly advanced and a bit of a beast. So what have I got it priced at? I haven't even looked. Can't use my brain today because there's two different fees for it. It depends whether you want it for a year or for life. So lifetime. So I'm just getting it up. Lifetime is $4.99. 1 year is $2.99 for the one on Ninja Trader. It's very, very clean on NT. I actually prefer it on NT. I don't know if I have to make this smaller. How do I bring this down? You see that? Super clean. Very clean. Sell signal. Down we go. Opening range. Initial balance. It's just, I think it's way easier to read on here. It's just so clean on Ninja Trader. I love Ninja Trader. Yeah, everything is, there's links down below. Flowzonetrader.com. Have you covered. Discord's only for students, I'm afraid, buddy. It comes for free when you do the course. There is a reason for that. There is a reason for that. It doesn't cost you anything when you do the course. The Discord is completely free for life when you do the course. The course is a one-time fee. I don't do any monthly subs or anything like that. The reason for it is so that the students who do the course all understand or have the same knowledge of what they're looking for, so that when I'm not there, they can support each other and look for the same kind of trades. My experience in being in countless Discords or private rooms, or whatever you want to call them, where people don't do the same course, is you get traders battling against each other looking for different setups. And that's the only reason I keep the Discord private. I'm sure it would be very advantageous for me to make it open in many ways, but I don't want to do that. My priority is always the students. I need the students to get the best service possible in terms of learning. But you are welcome to do the course. Yeah, only for students, Ken. Just for the reasons I explained. Can I use that version stream sometimes? What do you mean, Richard? Sorry, not following. Oh, stream the Ninja Trader one. Yeah, I could do. The hard thing with the Ninja Trader one is I can't teach on it. The nice thing about TradingView is I can just grab this and do this and do this and all these things. I can't do it on Ninja Trader, and that's the hardest thing. And I can't flick between. It's ironic that I can't even flick. I can't like do this to the Ninja Trader ones because they're behind. You know, when you have your trading panel, I have like M1 and the M5 is like behind it. It would have to it would just change the whole stream basically. But I don't mind putting it up sometimes. Yulimar, that sounds a bit like Tilt. Yeah, drawing tools. And the ones that they have are awful as well. Yulimar, that sounds a bit like Tilt. Very easy to do in this market. Very, very easy to do. Just you need to make sure those losers are nice and small and don't get attached to the outcome. And just be okay stopping out. Time you back. Okay. Right. Yeah. If you make it to 150k, 100% take the course on a fixed budget. So my 150k was all spare money I had for the month. Hey Ken, there's no rush, my friend. We spoke over email, right? This is who I spoke to on email, I think. All I would say to people, this isn't just Ken, just anyone. If you are willing to spend money on evaluations, you need to be willing to spend money on education. It doesn't need to be with me. I will say that all the time. It doesn't even need to be with anyone on YouTube, even if it's like books or something, but find someone that you connect with, that you understand their teachings make sense to you, and invest in yourself there, because it is pointless to keep buying evaluation accounts or keep putting money into small accounts or anything like that if you haven't found a model that works. You've got to find a teacher that you understand or a book that makes sense to you, or it can be free on YouTube. It doesn't matter. As long as you find something that makes sense to you, put the time in there first before you spend the money. I've been in Discords that simply faded away, no goodbyes or anything. I've learned to love losers. They're like paper cuts. Happy to have it. Yeah. No, my odds are going up next winter. Exactly. Do I have a video on where I discuss what you look at for VIX, SPY, or QQQ and how it affects your NQ trades? I don't. Well, I do in the course. I do, but not on YouTube. I don't. In the course, we do. We go over all that stuff. Relative weakness and alignment. All right, still holding that trend, isn't it? This market's still holding that trend. Still going upside. I'm going to leave you very, very shortly. See if my body will let me go to the gym today. Hopefully it will. This is still holding since this morning. Still no backside. Do I ever do flash sales on the course or anything like that? Fellow Gooner discount. We just did a sale not too long ago. We did an Easter sale. It's very rare I do sales. Only because I think it's such good value. I really do. I think like I make it affordable. I know it's like that's relative to people, and I understand that. But when I look at what's out there, I don't know anyone offering 20 hours on demand course, right from exactly knowing nothing all the way to a whole playbook, plus a Discord, which comes with it for free, basically for life, plus my indicators. I don't know anyone that offers that for that. You can pay $250, $300 to get a 2-hour course, which you will learn nothing from. You can pay a fake ICT trader $100 a month to give you some hindsight and have no understanding. So after month 7, you know nothing, and you could have done my course and learned everything. So, and then once you've done the course, there's no more fees to pay. So that's the only reason. I understand that is relative. $650 for some people is a lot of money. It's a lot of money for everyone. I'm going to be honest. That's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But when I compare it to courses that I did, let's say Investors Underground, $3,500 a year. Let's say you want to do something with, I don't know who the other big guys are now. I don't know what, what's his name? Small cap trader that would always get long. He was like into long on shit names. Tim Sykes, think he's a lot. Tim Grattini, all these guys back in the day. Now you've just got a swamp of ICT kids charging 150 plus a day, 100 a day, a month. So that's it. That's the only reason where I'm just like, and what I also found is I did it cheap for the first year. It was like $250 for the first year to like give people a chance to get involved. And I actually think like in doing that, people think it must be crap. And that's the other side of it, right? Like a lot of people message me every day and saying like, you need to put the price on. Every day is an over exaggeration, but be like, put the prices up, put the prices up. I think that's it, Burke. Yeah, I think that's it. But I'm always in this tussle, right? Of like, I want it to be affordable for people, but I don't want to sell myself short, because if I make it too cheap, the assumption is that it's a crap product like everything else. And I know it's hard, and it's like until you do the course, most people that do the course, they've probably found me after doing 2 or 3 other courses, and those courses are probably a lot more than this course. So I understand it. I've been there. I've done the courses. I've got a ton of courses that I've done over the years. I remember doing God, my brain's got to go back. Like Stephen Ducks. Worst course ever. Worst course ever. What a crap course. What a horrible educator. Fantastic trader. What a waste of money that was. Yeah, so it's like, I get it. I get it from the punter's point of view. But then it's also my business. And like, long term, do I want to be here forever doing this every day? Probably not. As much as I love doing it with you all, probably at some point, I'd love to get to the point where I'm in the Discord in the morning saying what I'd be looking for the day, and just move more and more and more and more into investment and swing trading. And like maybe the whole thing will evolve into other stuff. And what I'd love is for some of the students to start taking control, and like, you know, potentially down the line give them equity in the business to like they can start leading it every day. Yeah, thanks everyone. No, I appreciate all the nice feedback. I mean, Izzy, you did Sykes's course back in the day, right? I'm sure you used to trade like Sykes. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but like I'm going back like 6 years. Yeah, I knew it. See, a lot of these guys I've known a long time. We've been in lots of rooms together. Yeah, Deckmart. I mean, I'm not going to be horrible on people, but that guy asked me to be a mentor because I kept going against what he said. And I was like, no way, man. Like, you are a straight up YouTube gambler. And he rinse repeats the same way. This is how they rinse repeat in the stock world, right? These guys, these educators. They go front, like for him, front side in a move, short, add. Hopefully don't blow up, make a load of money on the way down. Terrible trade, teach everyone wrong, but they've got enough capital that they can afford to do that. Goes down, clip it, looks great on social media. You just clip like the drop. You don't clip where you're in 30 grand drawdown. You clip where you make 60 grand. I mean, he'd never do that anyway. He'd get out basically just above break even, clip it, put it up, right? Drive sales, 150 a month. Okay, he does 100 sales off that. Big dough, big dough. Okay. Then he realizes he's a crap trader and none of those people can do what he's done. And he's just blown everyone up who's followed him in. So then what do? They go, okay, we're going to do a small account challenge. We're going to do a small account challenge. We're going to rotate into small accounts. Okay. And then they blow up those small accounts because small account challenges are actually really, really hard. If you're below PDT rule, if you're playing with like $5,000, to grow that small account into $25,000 is not an easy feat. To do 100% gains will only get you to 10 grand, right? So to get to 25K is really, really hard. So then how are you thinking about it? Okay, you're either going to over leverage or you're going to play risky small caps or you're going to play like some zero DTEs and hope that you get lucky. So you blow up, but you don't tell them you blow up. And then you go, and if you go to the social at the moment, you'll see this. Everyone wants to see me make loads of money. I'm going back to like big caps and I'm going back to a big account. I'm going to short blah, 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 drive your sales in. So why don't you see me on social media doing this stuff? Because I fucking hate it. It's bollocks. It's just a machine of churn. And I went through it as a punter, just like all of you. I went through it as a punter. I threw money at education and realized it's all a load of shit. So I had to take time out and go through everything I'd learned and create a system, which is what I teach and I use. And I know it works and it's proven. And I said I wasn't going to do this, but I get annoyed with it. These are my withdrawals this month, right? These are my withdrawals this month. This is a small month for me. This is from base hits. Base hits. This is not from like absolutely sending it. And I don't think you can even see them all there. But I've taken, I don't know, 2025 out the market this month. From slow base hits. You can use the micros. You can leverage and use multiple accounts at Apex and keep your costs low. And if you stick to your strategy, it's going to be all right. You do not need to get obsessed with these traders who are leveraging in 15 contracts on the NQ, hoping they have a big winner. Oh, a punter. If I'm a punter, I'm just someone who's absorbing the information or buying as a punter. Is he saying, dude, I remember when he went bad on some of the stuff and he got lucky so many times. Yeah, I mean, there's that famous clip. I can't remember what the stock was. He's literally going purple in the face. He's like in 60 grand drawdown and he gets out for a 10 grand winner. White House walking back 50% tariffs as suggested. Why is that not surprising, eh? Tim's the one you did. Yeah, like Tim Grattini or Tim Sykes. Tim Grattini's like course is actually quite good, but it's all small cap stuff. So they're all small cap stuff. No worries, Yulamar. Take your time. Remember, the fastest way to profitability is to slow down. I cannot say it enough. Have we just taken that high there again, or have we just left the top in again? Left it in. You got to think they're trying desperately to get up here right now. All right, team. Fuck, what a nightmare that was. Some selling coming in here. You've got a new hourly bar coming in 4 minutes. And then you've got another hour to that 4-hour bar, which is the one that I'd be looking at. But again, I don't love those plays on a Friday. I love those 4-hour reversal or trend continuation plays Wednesday, Thursday. There is reason for that. I don't love them on a Friday. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It can happen, but I do not love them on a Friday. All right. I'm out of here. Job done. Nice hanging with you all that extra hour longer. For those who are interested after all this talk, I'm going to sell you something. All right. I'm going to sell you something now. This is on sale if you want both as the bundle. Okay. So it's only on sale if you want both as a bundle. So if you're interested in the course and the system indicator for life, you can get them all in for $9.99. All right. So it'll save you, I don't know, $150 or something. All right. Other than that, this is completely incorrect. Okay. This is 35% sale right now. I'll change it for next week. I think it ends end of the month. It's on all accounts right now, 35% off. Apex, I think, still has 80% off. Okay, so this is who I'm growing my accounts with currently and taking regular payouts. And Take Profit Trader, still 30% off for life. And, daily payouts with Take Profit Trader once you get past your buffer, which is the best thing about them. And that's it, team. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday. Remember, Monday is off. All right, I'm taking Monday off. Shortened futures market. It will open on Sunday, but not interested in any of that. And we'll go from Tuesday and we'll see what we get. Please be careful if you're going to sit here and trade the rest of this session, okay? As some of you members in chat have been pointing out, like White House is rolling things back on the 50% and all this news. So you just don't know what's going to happen. And really this market, it's scared about tariffs. It is scared about tariffs. That's the one thing I would say in this market. So be cautious. You can see the volatility when they step in on tariff news. The volatility is massive. You need to be careful when they step in. You got a 100 to, you got, what's that? 200 point move in 2 minutes. Yeah, 200 points in 2 minutes. So don't get caught in it. Make sure you're using hard stops. Peace and love. Have a great weekend.